Chapter 362. In Yanlang's Manor. It was an agarwood loft with pleasant scenery, standing tall in the midst of mountains, rivers, and fields. Xiaohan sat on the bed with his legs crossed. His left arm was flickering with a demonic light. At this moment, the palm was refining the remains of the Demon Temple Demon Emperor, Divine Power Demon Emperor, and Dragon Elephant Demon Emperor. The three ultimate variant Demon Emperor corpses were broken down into strands of the purest energy and poured into the palm to stimulate the 600,000th demon vein, trying to awaken it. However, it's too difficult to awaken the 600,000th demon vein. Even these ultimate variant Demon Emperor corpses, who are born with noble bloodlines and are free of impurities, can't awaken the 600,000th demon vein. It's still not enough. Xiaohan frowned. How can I make the Demon Emperor left arm palm enter the realm of the ultimate variant? Xiaohan thought for a long time but had no idea. However, when he thought of how Yanlang said that he would concoct the peerless medicine as soon as possible to help him awaken the 600,000th demon vein, Xiaohan's anxiety gradually calmed down. Maybe the Demon Emperor left arm palm's ultimate variant will fall on Yanlang. He, the greatest alchemist in the history of the human race. You're the best alchemist in the world. I hope you won't disappoint me. Xiaohan took out a bunch of Demon Emperor crystals and countless Demon Emperor crystal fragments while the Demon Emperor crystal glowed brightly. After killing the three ultimate variant Demon Emperors, Xiaohan obtained dozens of high-grade Demon Emperor crystals. However, he didn't plan to refine any of them before the Demon Emperor left arm palm's ultimate variant. He only released his psychic energy to examine the Demon Emperor crystals. Not bad. As expected of the strongest ultimate variant demon emperors under Great Monarch Woodfern. Some of their demonic arts are extremely profound. Xiaohan couldn't help nodding. However, right at this moment, puff! In Xiaohan's heart, the sound of pearls splashing on a jade plate suddenly burst forth. What? Xiaohan instinctively pressed his right hand on his heart and used his psychic energy to examine his body. In an instant, Xiaohan discovered that among the many seals on the surface of the demon egg, the sixth seal had finally broken. It had to be known that the first time he saw Yanlang, he had been stimulated by the ancient spell formation around him. The sixth seal that surrounded the demonic egg had begun to tremble, showing signs of breaking. At that time, Xiaohan had used all of his abilities to stabilize the sixth seal, preventing it from breaking in front of Yanlang, which would have revealed its flaws. However, at this moment, the half-broken sixth seal finally cracked open. Compared to the previous 5 broken seals, the sixth one was even bigger and had a stronger aura. As soon as it shattered, strands of misty immortal energy erupted from it. The aura of an immortal curled up in spirals, and it was ancient. It was even to the extent that it emanated an aura of an epic. Various phenomena appeared, and immortal music resounded in waves. Moreover, as the sixth seal broke, another crack appeared on the surface of the demon egg. Demonic chi oozed out from the crack. God damn it, another crack has appeared on the demon egg. This makes me vaguely feel that there's a strange life force hidden within the demon egg. This life force is pulsing gently. Xiaohan's heart leapt in fear. In that critical moment, he used all of his spirit turtle true chi to fill it up madly, firmly sealing up the crack on the surface of the eggshell. At the same time, rays of divine light and precious light rushed out from Xiaohan's heart. The light rays shone brightly and shot near Xiaohan's body. Buzz! Fish and dragons were everywhere. Clouds were rising. Countless jade-like talismans and seal characters were produced. They crisscrossed and intersected with each other. These talismans and seal characters didn't seem to belong to this world. It was strange and profound. Soon, all the precious light, crimson light, talismans and seal characters were condensed and formed a huge cocoon of light. The cocoon floated in the void, bobbing up and down. Puff! In an instant, the cocoon of light shattered and turned into pictures, hand seals and talismans. They exploded in all directions and merged into Xiaohan's mind. Boom! A feeling of enlightenment enveloped Xiaohan. At that moment, all the distracting thoughts in his mind disappeared. His aura was flawless and transparent. 10,000 Immortals formation. A sacred glow appeared on Xiaohan's cheeks, and his eyes were filled with enlightenment. I understand now. I understand it completely. On the sixth seal there was a cultivation technique. 10,000 Immortals formation. Once he mastered this cultivation technique, he would be able to set up a total of 10,000 formations around his body. Every great formation contained the mysterious power of space and even time. Once the formation was successfully set up around one's body, No living being would be able to lock onto one's true body, even if it was standing right in front of one's eyes. It was as if his real body was constantly jumping between time and space, flickering, elusive, indefinite. This 10,000 Immortals formation is specially set up to deal with the demon race. It has a special ability to block out demonic aura. If you encounter a powerful demon race, even if you are attacked by demonic techniques, the 10,000 Immortals formation around your body will automatically devour and refine the demonic aura. This 10,000 Immortals formation is powerful, but it is extremely difficult to cultivate. The first requirement to cultivate this 10,000 Immortals formation is to increase your cultivation to the 8th stage of True Qi, the Talisman Formation realm. When your cultivation reaches the Talisman Formation realm, you can use True Qi talismans to set up various formations. By combining your True Qi, you will be able to unleash offensive and defensive power that can destroy the world, slay demons and slay demons. Then, through the cultivation technique of the 10,000 Immortals formation, you can steal some of the more special and extremely precious treasure Qi in the universe. In this universe there are some treasure Qi that few people know about, but they are real. They are energy bodies such as the treasure Qi of 9 suns, clear sky treasure Qi, star treasure Qi, great void treasure Qi, blue scorching treasure Qi, big dipper treasure Qi. Ordinary martial artists in the True Qi realm would not be able to sense these treasure Qi, let alone collect them. Unless you are an immortal. However, after cultivating the 10,000 Immortals formation, you can form a mysterious connection with the universe beyond the heavens and the stars, allowing you to sense these treasure Qi and collect them. After that, you can use these treasure Qi to activate True Qi talismans and set up a formation around your body according to the method of the 10,000 Immortals formation. Once the formation is completed, you will be invulnerable to all evils, demons and tribulations. That's right. The formation around Yen Lang's body must be the 10,000 Immortals formation realm. However, Yen Lang's cultivation was far from the talisman formation realm. He could not even set up the simplest true talisman formation, let alone collect the treasure Qi to set up the 10,000 Immortals formation. He must have obtained some lost treasure related to the 10,000 Immortals formation and refined it into his body. Therefore he naturally set up a formation around his body. However, the treasure Yen Lang obtained must be incomplete because there are only a few thousand formations around his body. There are no 10,000 formations like the 10,000 Immortals formation that can be created when the 10,000 Immortals formation is fully cultivated. Of course, even so, it can ensure that Yen Lang can survive in the monster metropolis. Those martial emperors won't be able to easily break the formation and kill Yen Lang's real body. At this moment, the 6th seal was indeed engraved with 10,000 immortal formations and the method to collect the treasure Qi from outer space. However, Xiaohan could not touch it. His cultivation level was even lower than Yen Lang's. He had a peerless divine art, but it was beyond his reach. It doesn't matter. I'm currently in the monster metropolis. If I use the human's true Qi divine art, I'll definitely die. Xiaohan felt at ease. Even if I can cultivate the 10,000 immortals formation, I can't act rashly. As long as I reveal the slightest flaw, I'll be killed by those martial emperors before I can cultivate the divine art. Xiaohan was calm. Soon the 6th seal was silent. After a while there was no trace of it left. As long as Xiaohan did not actively use his spiritual waves to look inside, the 6th seal would not give off any more waves. Once I return to the Demon Hero Tower and expand my acupoints into talismans, I'll reach the talisman formation realm in one go. It won't be too late to cultivate the 10,000 immortals formation then. Xiaohan nodded slightly. However, now that the 6th seal had been broken, although Xiaohan tried his best to seal the demon egg with the spirit turtle's true Qi, it was extremely difficult. From the crack on the surface of the eggshell, strands of extremely pure demon Qi seeped out. It surged with vitality, as if an extremely evil, ancient, vicious creature that could destroy the world was about to be resurrected. This feeling made Xiaohan feel lingering fear. He even felt goosebumps all over his body. Every time a seal is broken, the living creature in the demon egg is closer to breaking out of the cocoon. Xiaohan felt a headache coming on. Even the pagoda master of the Demon Hero Tower is extremely afraid of the vicious creature in the demon egg. Once it breaks out of the cocoon, it'll be terrible. It might bring disaster to me. Although I refined the demon egg and fused it with my body, my cultivation is too weak. I can't control it at all. When that time comes, maybe I'll be possessed. As he thought about it, Xiaohan's back was covered in cold sweat. He felt a chill run down his spine. However, at this moment, boom, 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 Invisibly, waves of spiritual waves, powerful and demonic, directly penetrated the barrier of space and swept across Xiaohan's body. In an instant, the surging demon sense, invisible and substantial, wrapped around Xiaohan's body like a flood dragon. This demon sense was as deep as the sea. It was so powerful that even the mountain and sea prison could not compare to it. A casual wave could destroy mountains and rivers, move mountains, destroy continents, comprehend the 5 elements and subdue yin and yang. Xiaohan immediately felt a chill run down his spine. This was just a demon sense, but it was already so powerful that it could easily kill people like the Demon Emperor with divine power. Of course, it could also kill Xiaohan. Soon, this demon sense penetrated into Xiaohan's body. It was like quicksilver flowing on the ground. His flesh, bones, skin, hair, blood, cells, the Demon Emperor's palm. Even his soul seemed to be forcibly seen through. Damn it! Those great Demon Emperors are spying on me. Xiaohan also understood. He had been forcibly spied on in the Demon Hero Tower once, so he was not unfamiliar with the current situation. Xiaohan was shocked and angry. But there was nothing he could do. However, when the demon sense penetrated Xiaohan's body, Xiaohan's demon egg actually shook. Puff! All the demon senses were shattered. Turned into nothingness. Turned into ashes. Buzz! Xiaohan's mind went blank and then he directly fainted. On the 3rd level of the demon metropolis. In the 5-colored demon palace. Puff! Suddenly the 10 great demon emperors spat out demonic blood at the same time. Roar! They let out pained roars that contained a monstrous amount of shock and horror. Great Emperor Woodfern, what's going on? Great Emperor Woodfern, what's going on? What's hiding inside the silver-masked demon emperor's body? Silence. The Woodfern demon emperor also roared in anger, his voice filled with terror. That fellow's body actually has a monstrous demonic might, a boundless demonic grace and a peerless might. It's like an ancient demon god, and we don't dare to blaspheme it. The quality of that energy far surpasses ours. It far surpasses ours. If we try to force our way in, we'll definitely be reduced to ashes. Terrifying, too terrifying. Why does the silver-masked demon emperor possess such a demonic origin energy that surpasses ours? What is its origin? It's too terrifying. The Woodfern demon emperor had also gradually calmed down. This supreme energy definitely doesn't belong to the silver-masked demon emperor. He's still too weak to control even a billionth of this energy. Furthermore, this energy can shatter his tiny body at any moment. But so what? We can't spy on that energy either. It's too violent, too sinister, and too evil. It seems like we can only do this. Suddenly, the Woodfern demon emperor's voice trembled as he said, "Find an opportunity to summon the demon god sacrificial altar and summon the will of the mighty demon god to the silver-masked demon emperor. The will of the demon god will definitely be able to break through the mysterious origin energy in the silver-masked demon emperor's body. Perhaps we'll be able to benefit from it." Alright. Bringing out the demon god altar is the only feasible method. To be continued. Chapter 363. At this moment, the 10 great beast monarchs were filled with fear. They had used their demon senses to probe Xiaohan's secrets and felt a lofty will that wouldn't tolerate any blasphemy. They didn't doubt that Xiaohan's demon essence could easily tear them to shreds. In fact, it could even obliterate their souls in an instant. It seems that the treasure in the silver-masked monster emperor's body doesn't belong to the demon race of this plane. It might have fallen from the upper worlds and fallen into his hands. The Woodfern emperor analyzed calmly. But no matter what, we can't act rashly now. He paused for a moment, then smiled. In that case, let's summon the monster god altar. There's no need to be too nervous. Who knows, the silver-masked monster emperor might bring us a miracle instead of a calamity. All right. The other martial monarchs of the beast clan chimed in. Grand Emperor Woodfern, summoning the demon god sacrificial altar is no small matter. The 10 of us must join forces and send our most pious faith to the higher world. Then we will receive the blessing of the exalted demon god and use our demon sense to construct an altar. First, our faith must be pure and free of impurities. Otherwise, not only will we fail to summon the altar, but we will also be abandoned and exiled by the monster god. Second, we need powerful demon senses to construct the altar. Faith. The Woodfern emperor smiled confidently. There's no problem with faith. All the demon races in the universe worship the demon god as their life's faith. As for demon senses, the 10 of us will be more than enough to construct the altar. No matter what secrets or treasures are hidden in the body of the silver-masked little demon emperor, Under the will of Lord Demon God, there is nowhere for them to hide. The Woodfern Emperor pondered for a moment, then said solemnly, "Let's not worry about Grandmaster Yen Lang and the silver-masked monster emperor for now. 5 days later, it will be Master Yen Lang's birthday. At that time we will all be there. The silver-masked demon emperor will definitely appear beside Master Yen Lang. Then we will take advantage of his unpreparedness to take out the secret of the silver-masked demon emperor." "Emperor Woodfern, won't this affect Grandmaster Yen Lang's plan?" asked one of the demonic emperors. "Let's find out the secrets of the silver-masked little demon emperor first. Through the investigation of my demon sense just now, I have a premonition that the value of the silver-masked little demon emperor's secret might be greater than Master Yen Lang's plan. This secret might even overturn the structure of the demon race in our plane. The longer such a shocking secret is kept by the silver-masked little demon emperor, the more worried I am." Suddenly, the Woodfern demon emperor performed an incantation gesture, closed his eyes, and put on a pious expression. A moment later, a wisp of light shot out of the Woodfern demon emperor's forehead into the sky. "Let's pray. Pray together." The other 9 emperors imitated Grand Emperor Woodfern's example, meditating and praying devoutly. At the same time, a strange light began to shine from their foreheads. 10 rays of light fused together. At the same time, the 10 emperors, led by the Woodfern demon emperor, opened and closed their mouths, their expressions incomparably pious and respectful. Then they all knelt down and raised their hands, palms facing the sky. Their prayers were endless. These prayers were all uttered in the language of the ancient demon race. As the prayers were uttered, the language of the demon race transformed into long dragons that merged with the 10 beams of light and shot into the sky, disappearing without a trace. Good. I hope the will of the demon god can hear our prayers, so that we can invite the demon god altar down, the Woodfern demon emperor said solemnly. Second level of the demon capital. Yen Lang's villa. Xiaohan's wooden house. Inside a study. Xiaohan was sitting at a pear-wood desk, flipping through some books. These are all human books. They record the history of the human race. Xiaohan flipped through them casually. Before this, Xiaohan had been spied on by the 10 emperors' demonic senses. Fortunately, the demon egg had shattered their demonic senses. Ever since then, the 10 emperors had reigned in their demonic senses and never visited the Luoho or Xiaohan again. However, Xiaohan understood that the secret has been exposed. Everything looks calm now, but there's definitely an even more terrifying conspiracy brewing in the shadows. The 10 emperors won't let this go so easily. Xiaohan threw the book in his hand away and frowned. What should I do? I've already been targeted by the 10 emperors. Should I escape from the demon capital now? Escape? Xiaohan shook his head helplessly. In this kind of situation, it was extremely difficult to successfully escape from the demon metropolis. Furthermore, Xiaohan's mission in the demon capital had been to assassinate Yen Lang and obtain the medicine for Xiao Yunrong, but he hadn't completed a single one. Just then, Xiaohan's heart skipped a beat. Ah, Silver Mask. Yen Lang's laughter rang out from outside the study. "Oh master, you're here. Please come in, please come in." Xiaohan quickly pretended to stand up, stood up and opened the door. "Silver Mask." Yen Lang entered the study. His face was glowing, but there was a hint of exhaustion in his eyes. The two of them sat down. "Silver Mask, I stayed up all night last night to design some plans," Yen Lang said with a smile. "In a few days I'll start collecting medicinal herbs and all kinds of extraterrestrial treasure chi. I'll refine a few precious medicines according to your realm and the characteristics of your demon body." "Thank you, Grandmaster." "You've worked hard," Xiaohan hurriedly said humbly. "It's okay. All the hard work is worth it," Yen Lang said with satisfaction. "Silver Mask, let me tell you this time, if there's no accident, my precious medicine can successfully awaken your 600,000th demon meridian." "Really?" Xiaohan blurted out subconsciously. "Yes." Yen Lang nodded heavily. A hint of pride and conceit flashed across his eyes. "My alchemy skills are exceptional and rare in the world. You don't have to doubt this, Silver Mask. If I say I want you to undergo the ultimate mutation, you'll definitely be able to do it." "Yes, yes." Xiaohan pretended to be a yes man. He had to do his best to pretend that he had already planted the power of faith in Yen Lang. That way he would be able to win Yen Lang's trust and obtain more benefits from him. Maybe this idiot really can create a peerless precious medicine that can help me awaken my 600,000th demon meridian. Xiaohan could not help but feel a little more confident in Yen Lang. "Silver Mask, I've already talked to Emperor Woodfern. Don't worry, he and the other emperors won't make things difficult for you, Yanlang said proudly. But right at that moment, Xiao Han's heart skipped a beat. The sixth seal that had been broken began to glow with light, sending out fluctuations that entered Xiao Han's mind. As the ripples of the sixth seal entered his brain, Xiao Han's eyes suddenly lit up. He could actually see through Yanlang's body. There was a fist-sized golden stone in Yanlang's dantian. The stone was engraved with densely packed runes and immortal characters. Furthermore, the stone emitted misty rays of light that were invisible to the naked eye. They shot out in all directions, and each ray of light set up a formation near Yanlang's body. In other words, there were a total of 4,309 spell formations around Yanlang's body. The Myriad Immortals formation. Xiao Han's heart lit up. I understand now. The golden stone in Yanlang's dantian must be the secret treasure with the Myriad Immortals formation carved on it. Yanlang refined the golden stone into his body, and it automatically formed 4,309 spell formations. The golden stone contained some of the source energy required by the spell formations. At the same time, the sixth seal continued to throb within Xiao Han's heart. Faint ripples were transmitted into Xiao Han's mind. What? I was actually able to activate the sixth seal and directly snatch the golden stone that Yanlang had refined in his dantian. Xiao Han's heart was in turmoil. It was as if the golden stone in Yanlang's dantian belonged to the sixth seal. It was as if the golden stone was left behind by the sixth seal. The current situation, for example, was like a thief who had stolen a treasure. Now, the original owner of the treasure had come to the thief's side and discovered his lost treasure. With a single thought, the golden stone that Yanlang refined will be taken away by the will of the sixth seal. I'll take it by force and merge it into my body. No, not snatch it, but return it to its original owner. Xiao Han was completely excited. However, he was wearing a silver mask, so Yanlang could not see the change of his expression. Xiao Han was also trying his best to control his thoughts. Soon, Xiao Han forcefully dispelled the sixth seal's desire for the golden stone. Ha ha ha. But once the treasure in Yanlang's body is taken away, the spell formations around Yanlang's body will collapse on their own. Then, even a mutated emperor beast can easily kill Yanlang. And I'll be able to complete the mission to enter the demon metropolis. Ah, I'm so lucky. Moreover, after refining that treasure into my body, there will be many spell formations around my body. I'll be able to resist the attacks of the 10 emperors of the demon clan, and then kill my way out of the demon metropolis. Ah, all the problems seem to be easily solved. Ha ha ha. Xiao Han's heart was burning with passion. However, Xiao Han was not in a hurry to take the treasure. He calmed his mind and looked at Yanlang calmly. At this moment, when Xiao Han looked at Yanlang, it was as if he was looking at a fat pig waiting to be slaughtered. To Xiao Han, risking his life to enter the demon metropolis this time to assassinate Yanlang, it was difficult. Even if he could kill Yanlang to escape unscathed, to avoid the pursuit of the emperors of the demon clan, and to escape alive, it was extremely difficult. However, if he could snatch the golden stone from Yanlang's body, the situation would be immediately reversed. Killing Yanlang was like killing a chicken. It wasn't impossible for him to escape. Silver Mask, you seem a little strange? Yanlang seemed to have noticed something. No, I'm not. I'm just looking forward to the precious medicine that Master is about to refine. It makes my heart beat a lot faster. Xiao Han pretended to touch his chest in embarrassment and shook his head with a smile. Ah, it's nothing. Silver Mask, you have to be calm. Yanlang didn't feel offended at all. He was still very confident in his power of faith. Since Xiao Han had taken the peerless precious medicine that he refined, he must have become Yanlang's puppet. This was something that would never fail. Moreover, the power of faith in the peerless precious medicine was thousands or even tens of thousands of times stronger than that of ordinary precious medicine. This made Yanlang believe that in the entire villa, the most loyal person to him was definitely the Silver Mask Demon Emperor. Suddenly, bang! Yanlang patted the table heavily as if he had made up his mind. He stood up. Silver Mask, listen carefully. In 5 days it will be my birthday. At that time, the 10 emperors will attend, and countless mutated demon emperors and ultimate mutated demon emperors will also attend. The scene was unprecedentedly heated. On that day, Silver Mask, you will also follow me there. I have to seize the time and refine the precious medicine now. On the day of my birthday, I will let you take it in public. Yanlang closed his eyes deeply. On that day, I will help you awaken the 600,000 demon meridian. Silver Mask, your potential is terrifyingly high. Once you achieve the ultimate mutation, it will definitely cause a storm. At that time, you will let those demon emperors see your glory, and you will also win glory for yourself. Oh, so you want to make use of me to show off on your birthday? Xiao Han was also well aware of what was going on. At the same time, Xiao Han was also thinking quickly in his mind. On that day, if Mr. Yen succeeds in refining a peerless treasure, allowing me to consume it and awaken the 600,000th beast vein, I will immediately take the treasure from Mr. Yan's body and refine it into my own body. Thousands of formations will be set up around my body, and at that time I will capture Mr. Yen and take him away from the demon capital. The 10 demon emperors will definitely not be able to break the array around my body in a short time. Okay, that's it. Master, can you refine the precious medicine on your birthday? Xiao Han held back his laughter and asked. In these few days I will work a little harder. It should not be a problem. Yen Lang smiled proudly. Silver Mask, you are looking forward to it now, right? Master, I am really looking forward to it, very looking forward to it. Xiao Han said emotionally. I'm also looking forward to it. Yen Lang naturally did not know Xiao Han's true thoughts. The two of them looked at each other and laughed loudly, each with their own ulterior motives. After Yen Lang left, Xiao Han was deep in thought. Awaken the 600,000th demon vein, snatch the treasure in Yen Lang's body, kidnap Yen Lang, and kill my way out of the demon capital. I have to make this plan flawless. In his mind he was constantly thinking about the plan, calculating every possible link and perfecting it. Chapter 364. When he met Yen Lang this time, he discovered that the secret in Yen Lang's dantian was related to the broken sixth seal. It was related to the 10,000 immortal grand formation. In this case, an almost perfect plan was brewing in Xiao Han's mind. On Yen Lang's birthday, the 10 great demon emperors will show up. Xiao Han's eyes flickered as he thought about many details. The secret in my heart has already been discovered by the 10 great demon emperors. One should know that the demon egg is a secret of the demon clan. Therefore, the 10 great demon emperors must know this secret better than the master of the demon warrior pagoda. Therefore, I must escape from the demon metropolis on that day. When I escape, it's best to hold Yen Lang hostage. Yen Lang is still of great value to the demon clan. If I hold Yen Lang hostage, the 10 great demon emperors will definitely be cautious, which will definitely help me escape from the demon metropolis. On the other hand, if I kill Yen Lang directly, not only will the 10 great demon emperors kill me, but even the countless puppet demon emperors under Yen Lang will also go crazy. Hold Yen Lang hostage. Thinking of this, Xiao Han's heart skipped a beat. He turned his left hand and a medium-sized demon emperor crystal appeared in his palm. The demon emperor crystal was a kind of earthy yellow color. It had a soft luster and was flawless. Wisps of faint demon chi seeped out. Indistinctly, the sound of a woman's resentful chanting could be heard everywhere. Inside this demon emperor crystal, there was a small courtyard house. This. Xiao Han's soul force shot into the demon emperor crystal. This is a demon emperor crystal that came out of the divine power demon emperor's body after it was killed. A demonic technique is sealed within this demon emperor crystal, and it isn't an offensive demonic technique, nor is it a defensive demonic technique, but it's a demonic technique that imprisons. Xiao Han's mouth curled up into a faint smile. Despair Demon Courtyard. This demonic technique forcefully imprisons existences weaker than oneself in this demon emperor crystal's courtyard, making it impossible for them to escape. In fact, it's like a portable prison. However, a small courtyard house can't hold many people. Furthermore, this demonic technique was extremely useless to divine power demon emperors. After all, the demon race was extremely savage by nature. If they met an opponent, they would fight to the death. That was their principle. Imprisoning his opponent seemed to be an unnecessary move. In particular, he could only imprison opponents who were weaker than him, which was even more superfluous. If they were weaker than him, he could just smash them with a single slap. As a result, this demonic technique of the Demon Academy of Despair is rarely used by even demonic emperors with divine power. Seriously speaking, if it was any other time, I wouldn't bother to refine this demonic technique, but at this moment, with this Demon Academy of Despair, I can hold Yen Lang hostage without any harm and even bring him back to the human world. Yen Lang's alchemy technique is also a heaven-defying technique. To be honest, instead of destroying him, it's better to imprison him forever and use him for me. Become my Xiao Han's personal alchemist. Xiao Han rubbed the Demon Emperor crystal playfully. In the next moment, swoosh, the Demon Emperor crystal shot into the demon god's palm. Demonic light surged and the scarlet glow treasure light surged. Clang. The Demon Emperor crystal was embedded into the 13th groove of the demon god's palm. Refine. A string of enlightenment surged into Xiao Han's mind. With my current level and double mutation, although the quality of the demon god's palm has increased several times, my level is still not enough. Embedding and refining 12 Demon Emperor crystals is almost the limit. However, this demonic technique of the Demon Academy of Despair is relatively useless. This Demon Emperor crystal is not as good as the Demon Emperor crystal of the high-level peak Demon Emperor with ordinary bloodline that I killed before. For example, the Howling Demon Emperor crystal, the White Bone Demon Emperor crystal. This way, embedding and refining this Demon Academy of Despair will not affect the operation of the other 12 demonic techniques. Soon, buzz, 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 the 13th golden halo with Xiao Han's left arm as the center, gradually formed and spread out. It's almost done. Xiao Han could not help but laugh. After this young master grasped this demon technique, hee. My dear Yen, just wait to be imprisoned for eternity. 3 days later, the 3rd level of Demon City, in the 5-colored Demon Palace. The 10 demon emperors were praying devoutly, praying for blessings, spreading their own power of faith, and sensing the will of the demon god in the upper realm. All of a sudden, swoosh, a ray of light shot down from the 9 heavens. In the blink of an eye, the entire 5-colored demon palace was covered in heavenly flowers. They fell in a myriad of colors, making for a divine sight. But soon, the ray of light that descended from the 9 heavens began to wriggle rapidly, and a huge amount of demonic chi spread out, covering the sky and earth, engulfing the entire 3rd level of the demon metropolis. A ball of light suddenly appeared in the gloomy 5-colored demon palace. It was like an eternal aurora, illuminating the entire palace. Traces of an invincible will that could shatter heaven and earth and sweep through the 3,000 great realms came crashing down. One of the demon emperors shrieked. The will of the demon god has descended. The will of the demon god has descended personally. Our devotion has attracted a wisp of the Lord Demon God's will. This means that we have a chance to construct the demon god altar. Emperors, kneel. Kneel. Hurry up and kneel to welcome the will of the demon god. Even though it's only a trace of will, it's still incomparably noble. Don't slack off. The Woodfern Demon Emperor cried out in fear and trepidation, his entire body trembling. All hail the demon god. We respectfully welcome the demon god's will to our ordinary plane. As your most devout followers, we wish you a long life for all generations to come. Live as long as the heavens. Be invincible forever. Sweep through the human immortals. In the myriad of heavens and realms, you shall reign supreme. All of the demon emperors, including the Woodfern Demon Emperor, dropped to their knees and kowtowed to the will of the demon god. They prostrated themselves. Their bodies trembled. A few dozen breaths later, the Woodfern Demon Emperor said in a trembling voice, All right. Release your demon consciousness and construct the demon god altar. Yes, Emperor Woodfern. The other 9 demon emperors were all trembling with fear. Whoosh, 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 soon. The 10 martial monarchs released their demonic consciousnesses. 10 demonic consciousnesses that were as deep as the ocean merged with the will of the beast god. The densely packed ancient demon characters, fish and dragons, were like a mirage, lingering around the will of the demon god. Soon, the beast runes and the will of the 10 martial monarchs combined into veins and lines. Layers upon layers of pavilions and terraces were formed. Amidst these pavilions there was a bronze hall. The palace was made of 9,999 white jade steps. Both sides of the steps were lined with dense carvings. The contents of the carvings were boundless, sinister, and terrifying. Moreover, on both sides of the stairs were countless demon sabers, demon axes, demon hooks, demon ropes, demon swords, demon hammers, and so on and so forth, and they gave off an extremely dignified, solemn, and murderous feeling. The palace was too mysterious, too mysterious. Thick killing intent rolled and colorful demonic aura surged. Humans, demons, if they were in this great hall, they would definitely be scared out of their wits. Their divine souls would wail, their bodies would tremble, and in the depths of their hearts, they would think that they couldn't resist, that they could only submit, or even that they could only accept death. Every step of the jade steps was mottled with ancient blood, as if it had been left behind by a primordial beast or a primordial evil spirit. It was a ghastly sight. An ancient aura permeated the air. We've finally invited the mighty demon god altar. The Woodfern Demon Emperor's voice trembled with excitement. The demon god's sacrificial altar contains a trace of the demon god's will. Once it envelopes the silver-masked demon emperor, no matter how mysterious his secrets are, he'll be forced to reveal his true nature. He'll be exposed. That's right. In our demonic race, the demon god is the law. The progenitor. Nothing can escape the control of the demon god. Whoosh, 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 all of a sudden, the demon god altar transformed into a streak of light and entered the Woodfern Demon Emperor's sea of consciousness. The demon god altar had been formed from the demonic will of the 10 emperors, which was why the Woodfern Demon Emperor was able to take it. Grandmaster Yanlang's birthday is in 2 days. The Woodfern Demon Emperor rose to his feet, his hands behind his back, his cloak fluttering in the wind. The secret of the silver-masked demon emperor is about to be revealed. 2 days later, Yanlang's villa on the 2nd level of the demon metropolis was bustling with activity. At this moment, Yanlang was wearing a bright red robe that exuded a beaming aura. He was in high spirits and seemed to be in high spirits. Surrounded by a large group of ultimate mutant demon emperors, they were like stars surrounding the moon. Congratulations, Grandmaster. May you live for 1,000 years and live for 10,000 years. Congratulations, Grandmaster. May you live a long and prosperous life. Ha ha ha, good good, all of you are considerate. Yanlang's expression was pleasant as he laughed heartily. He was in high spirits. Where's Silver Masked? Grandmaster, Silver Masked is here. Xiao Han stepped forward. Grandmaster, may you enjoy immortal fortune and live as long as the heavens. Ha ha, Yanlang laughed heartily. There was a hint of exhaustion in his eyes, but it was concealed by a joyful expression. Silver Masked, I have a gift for you today in front of all the higher-ups of the demon metropolis. Grandmaster, that medicine? Did it really succeed? Xiao Han's voice trembled slightly. Ah, yes. Come, let's go to the 3rd level. Yanlang laughed. Good good, very good. The medicine has been successfully refined, and I've completely mastered the despair demon compound. Xiao Han stuck out his tongue and licked his lips. All the schemes, all the plans will be here. Suddenly, Yanlang waved his sleeves as if he had activated some kind of teleportation formation. Layers of chaotic force spread out with him as the center, encapsulating Xiao Han and the ultimate mutated beast dominators within it. Chapter 365. Before Xiao Han could react, Yanlang had already triggered a space teleportation formation. Vaguely, Xiao Han could see Yanlang igniting a demon talisman. The misty space force spread out from Yanlang's body, enveloping Xiao Han and a group of ultimate mutation demon emperors. Boom. Rumble. It was as if the whole time and space were flowing faster. The powerful space storm swirled around Xiao Han's ears. Xiao Han guarded his mind and responded to the changes by remaining calm. After an unknown period of time, Xiao Han suddenly found himself in a mirage. Yanlang, who was wearing a red robe and smiling amiably, and dozens of ultimate mutation demon emperors were also standing beside Xiao Han. Silver Mask, here we are. This is the 3rd level of the demon metropolis. The place that belongs to the 10 great demon emperors of the demon clan, which is also this plane, is the most sacred place of the demon clan. Ah. Normally, you demon emperors, even mutated demon emperors, are not qualified to come here. Today is my birthday, so the 10 great emperors made an exception and allowed many demon emperors to attend the ceremony, Yanlang said complacently. Yes, the respect he received in the demon metropolis was much higher than in the demon hero tower. It was a great ability to be treated as a distinguished guest by the most powerful demon clan in this plane. Let's go. Yanlang led Xiao Han and the others to wander among the white clouds in this space. Xiao Han walked behind Yanlang calmly and looked around. He saw endless white clouds floating in the void, and there was a sea of clouds everywhere. Among the sea of clouds, there were many huge islands and ancient demon mountains. All kinds of palaces, demon birds and demon beasts were running on the clouds. Among the white clouds, there was also an extremely noble aura of the demon clan, which was extremely evil. Xiao Han even saw many dark golden demonic dragons and demonic dragons roaming in the sea of clouds. Sometimes they jumped out of the sea of clouds, and sometimes they hid under the sea of clouds. What was more terrifying than these demon dragons were the huge demon eagles, demon rocks and demon vultures. Their wings covered the sky, and they emitted ancient demon aura. They must be the demon clan's birds that had been bred in the primordial age. They had a long life, and they soared in the sky, letting out shocking demon cries. A huge space, billowing demonic clouds, numerous demon mountains and demon islands. There were also countless primordial demon race beings. This was the third level of demon metropolis. This place is probably equivalent to the top floor of the Yaoxia Pagoda, right? Xiao Han made a comparison in his heart. At the end of the horizon, in the middle of the mountains, there was a magnificent five-colored demon palace. It was as if it was suspended on the peak of a mountain. Dense demonic runes floated above the five-colored demon palace. These runes formed a large number of formations. The demonic aura in the surroundings gathered without dissipating. Demonic wind, demonic fire, demonic thunder, demonic ice, demonic gold, demonic wood, demonic earth, demonic water, demonic light, and so on all appeared around the five-colored demon palace. In fact, there were even long silver streams that shone brilliantly around the Hall of Demons. It was truly a spectacular sight. Moreover, Xiao Han clearly sensed that there were 10 clouds of extremely terrifying auras that blotted out the sky and 10,000 horses galloping inside the five-colored demon palace. The 10 clouds of demonic auras twisted and formed dense ancient demonic runes. They soared into the sky and changed at will. Cruelty, cunning, ferocity, violence, resentment, invincibility, and the like reverberated everywhere. It gave people a feeling that a heavenly demon had descended and a devil had destroyed the human world. Xiao Han observed for a moment and found that the mutated demon emperors who came with him were all shivering in fear. Their faces were ashen and they were all uncomfortable. Even their hearts seemed to be constricting and they were instinctively scared. Even Yin Lang's expression was extremely restrained. However, the demon egg in Xiao Han's heart didn't seem to be too afraid of the 10 clouds of demonic aura. It was just condensed into a speck of dust and hid deep inside. However, the vague will it transmitted not only prevented Xiao Han from being affected by the demon emperor's aura, but also made him feel strangely restless. 10 great demon emperors. Xiao Han looked at the five-colored demon palace in the middle of the mountains. He subconsciously touched the position of his heart with his hand. This secret has been exposed. I wonder if the 10 great demon emperors will directly dissect me in front of me? Then Xiao Han glanced at Yin Lang from the corner of his eyes. Yin Lang, you will become the only thing that I can use to escape from the demon metropolis. Life and death are right in front of me. However, at this moment, swoosh, 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 dense demonic light jumped out of the five-colored demon palace like bullets. Every ray of demonic light turned into a demon emperor. All of them were ultimate mutated demon emperors. There were more than 1,000 of them. All the elites of the entire demon metropolis had come out. They came to welcome Yin Lang. Welcome Master Yin Lang. May Master Yin Lang live a long and prosperous life. More than 1,000 ultimate mutated demon emperors shouted at the same time. It was extremely powerful. Good, good, very good. Yin Lang smiled slightly and suddenly raised his right hand. In an instant, 7 colored flowing lights scattered from Yin Lang's hand. Every ray of light turned into a pill and was sent to the hands of the ultimate mutated demon emperors. Some pills can nourish your demon bodies. I'll give them to you to play with. Yin Lang smiled proudly. Thank you, Master. Master, you'll live as long as the heavens. More than 1,000 ultimate mutated demon emperors shouted again. In the next moment, a rainbow bridge extended from the five-colored demon palace and reached Yin Lang's feet. Yin Lang smiled and stepped onto the rainbow bridge. He said to Xiao Han, Silver Mask, let's enter the five-colored demon palace. Oh, don't be nervous. Your current status is not trivial. You're the most important person in the plan to create demon emperors in batches. Those great emperors will definitely not make things difficult for you. Yes, Master. Xiao Han also stepped onto the rainbow bridge. However, he didn't think much of it. There's a treasure in my heart that's even more mysterious and noble than that plan. Those great emperors won't make things difficult for me? You don't know that I've already been scanned by their demonic senses. However, Xiao Han kept his composure and followed closely behind Yin Lang. When passing by the thousands of ultimate mutated demon emperors, Xiao Han felt waves of cold aura full of hostility and killing intent enveloping him. He glanced out of the corner of his eye and saw many ultimate mutated demon emperors grimacing as if they couldn't wait to pounce on him and tear him apart. Xiao Han killed the Yin Thunder Demon Emperor, the Black Rain Demon Emperor, the Divine Power Demon Emperor, the Dragon Elephant Demon Emperor, and the Demon Temple Demon Emperor. That was a slap in the face of the 10 great emperors of the demon clan. Besides, he was known as the mutated demon emperor with the greatest potential, which was a slap in the face of countless mutated demon emperors with noble bloodlines. Therefore, Xiaohan wouldn't be nice to him when he came to the third floor of the demon metropolis. However, he couldn't care less now. Yan Lang took the lead, followed by dozens of ultimate mutated demon emperors and Xiaohan. The rainbow bridge led to the five-colored demon palace. The closer they got to the five-colored demon palace, the more powerful the pressure in the space became. The ultimate mutant demon emperors under Yan Lang's command were almost suffocating. After walking for tens of thousands of steps, they finally arrived at the main hall of the five-colored demon palace. At this time in the main hall, a scene was set up to celebrate Yan Lang's birthday. Many seats were set up and there were countless seductive female demons. They were all plump and thin and their makeup was fragrant. They were arranging delicacies and pastries. Everything was done according to the rules of the rich families in the human clan world. Delicacies and delicacies from the land and sea were served like flowing water. Moreover, in the entire main hall, thousands of auspicious auras, tens of thousands of rays of light, hazy phantoms, and mirages were everywhere. There were a total of 10 crystal thrones floating in the void. On each crystal throne sat a terrifying abyss-like creature that couldn't be desecrated. They all exuded a proud and noble aura. They were arrogant and unruly. Moreover, these 10 creatures that seemed to be primordial creatures were only in the state of shadows, and their specific appearances couldn't be seen. However, their bodies emitted a dazzling golden light that was as dazzling as the sun. In the golden light, there was an invincible and unstoppable demonic aura that could sweep through the heavens. If one focused their eyes and forced themselves to look in, they would see layers of light circles that directly penetrated into the depths of the third layer of the demon metropolis. They could also see hazy human figures in the golden light. They were like an abyss, a realm of demons or a realm of demons. They were unfathomable. These 10 figures seemed to have evolved from some kind of unseen rule of the demon race. They seemed to be very close, but in fact, these 10 figures seemed to be in the depths of billions of parallel universes. Even if ordinary creatures searched for their entire lives, they wouldn't be able to find their true location. These are the 10 great emperors of the demon race. For billions of years, they are the most terrifying demon race in this plane. They are the leaders of the demon race in this plane. Powerful, too powerful. Just their aura alone is more powerful than the human demon hero, Shangguan Wudi. They are almost on par with the Tower Master. Xiaohan also began to feel nervous. What he was most worried about now was that the 10 great emperors of the demon race would directly attack him. Xiaohan tried his best to steady his breathing. His mind was immersed in his heart, and his spirit turtle true chi sealed the demon egg firmly. However, at this moment, there were 6 cracks on the demon egg, causing the aura that leaked out of the demon egg to be even stronger than before. Xiaohan was extremely tired. He vaguely felt like he couldn't suppress it anymore and was about to collapse. Of course, this was the sense of urgency and suffocation that he only felt when he was facing the great emperors of the demon race. Silverface, you're too nervous? It's fine, it's fine. Yan Lang turned his head and looked at Xiaohan. He also noticed Xiaohan's nervous state. Grandmaster Yan Lang? Suddenly, one of the 10 balls of light spoke. This voice was not tainted by any worldly emotion. It was extremely cold. It slowly raised its right hand and waved at Yan Lang. Every finger on its hand seemed to have grasped the laws of the demon Tao. It could be purgatory, demonic fire, reincarnation, possession, vengeful spirits, or resentment. Grandmaster, today is your 50,000th birthday. It's been countless years since you came to the demon capital, and you've made great contributions to the rise of our demon race. On behalf of all the demon race in this plane, I wish you 1,000 years of longevity and eternal life. Grandmaster Hope and our demon race will always be allies and friends. Xiaohan felt that he was completely powerless against this great emperor. Its demonic aura was unstoppable and it could rule over the world. He wouldn't even be able to withstand a single finger. Yes, great Emperor Woodfern. There's no need to be so formal. A hint of excitement flashed across Yan Lang's eyes, but he pretended to be calm. Great Emperor Woodfern, this is the silver-faced demon emperor. I'm sure you're well aware of his potential. Good. Very good. Very good. The Woodfern demon emperor praised. Silver-masked demon emperor, you're a genius who rose like a comet among the hundreds of millions of demons in our plane. It's said that there are countless geniuses in the human race, and there are as many as the eternal sands. I'm very pleased that our demon race has a genius like you. Oh. Xiaohan was stunned. He hadn't expected these great emperors to treat him so calmly. Moreover, they didn't release their demonic senses to scan him. Grandmaster, please take a seat. The Woodfern Demon Emperor didn't say anything else. Soon, the 1,000 ultimate variant demon emperors who had gone to welcome Yen Lang outside the 5-colored demon palace returned one after another and took their seats. Yen Lang sat down with the dozens of ultimate variant demon emperors under his command. Yen Lang held Xiao Han in high regard, so he ordered Xiao Han to sit beside him. Next, the demon races presented their gifts to Yen Lang. The few ultimate mutant demon emperors under Yen Lang's command stored the generous gifts into their rings of holding. Then, many female demon emperors performed human songs and dances to entertain the guests. The demon races present also tasted human food and drank human liquor, interacting with Yen Lang in the manner of the human race to show their respect. They did their best not to reveal their demon race surnames. In fact, they were all very polite. It was extremely comical. Xiao Han sat beside Yen Lang without batting an eyelid. He didn't even take off his mask. Ever since entering the 5-colored demon palace, the 10 great emperors of the demon race had acted as if he didn't exist. They didn't release any demonic senses to spy on him. They didn't even check the state of his life force. These great emperors clearly know that I'm hiding a great secret. How can they be so calm? Xiao Han was getting more and more nervous. He couldn't help but look at Yen Lang. Damn it, Sua Xiong. I'll find a chance to take the treasure from Yen Lang's Dantian and refine it into my body. Then I'll imprison Yen Lang in the demon compound of despair and kill my way out of the demon capital. Right at this moment, after 3 rounds of drinks, the dancing female demons in colorful clothes left the stage one after another. Yen Lang suddenly rose to his feet and announced loudly, "Honored demon emperors, this silver mask is now my confidant. He's a double-mutated demon emperor who hasn't awakened his 600,000th demon meridian yet. His potential is extraordinary. That's why it's extremely difficult to awaken his 600,000th demon meridian and reach the ultimate mutation stage. Today." Yen Lang smiled confidently and flipped his right hand. A rose-red pill the size of a fist appeared in his palm. It gave off the fragrance of meat. "Today, I'll use this pill to help Silver Mask enter the ranks of the ultimate mutation demon emperors." Thousands of ultimate mutation demon emperors exclaimed in surprise and exchanged glances with each other. "Is that so? It looks like you're very confident, Grandmaster." The Woodfern Demon Emperor cackled. At the same time, "Get ready. I can't wait any longer." As soon as the silver-masked Demon Emperor entered the Demon Hall, I could already feel that there was something in his body that was extremely attractive to me. An ancient demonic treasure. However, with my previous experience, I won't dare to probe his body with my demonic consciousness again. In that case, let's bring out the Demon God Altar. All right. Let's do it, Woodfern Demon Emperor. The other 9 Demon Emperors agreed. "Ah, of course I'm confident." Yen Lang laughed. "Silver Mask, stand up and consume this pill. It'll help you awaken your 600,000th demon meridian." "Yes, Grandmaster." Xiao Han stood up and a thought flashed through his mind. "After I take the elixir, I will be able to use it. After I consume the pill, I'll act immediately. I'll take the treasure from Yen Lang's Dantian and imprison him. The atmosphere here is too strange and oppressive. The 10 demon emperors might look calm, but they're definitely plotting against me. The longer I delay, the more danger I'll be in. I'll throw caution to the wind." "Do it." "Grandmaster, I'll consume the pill now." Xiao Han slowly reached out to take the pill from Yen Lang. "Wait." The Woodfern Demon Emperor suddenly said. To be continued. Chapter 366. Xiao Han knew his own situation. He deeply knew that Yen Lang's birthday banquet was no different to a Hongmen banquet with a slim chance of survival to him. Strangely, the 10 great monarchs of the monster race had been ignoring Xiao Han ever since they saw him. They just casually said some high-sounding words and then ignored Xiao Han. It was as if they had never used their demon senses to check on Xiao Han and didn't know Xiao Han's secret at all. But that wasn't the case. There must be something wrong. There must be a terrible plot against me. Xiao Han did not dare to relax in the slightest. Instead, he was in a state of mutual hostility as if a storm was brewing. Forget it, forget it. Instead of being schemed against by these monster race emperors, I might as well follow the original plan and take a risk. My purpose in coming to the monster metropolis isn't to destroy the foundation of the monster race or assassinate the monster emperors. It's just to target Yen Lang. Now, as long as my plan succeeds, I can complete the mission perfectly. Fight. Grab Yen Lang and run. Run away. Leave the monster metropolis and return to the human world. At this moment, Xiaohan's eyes were filled with a cold and sharp light. He had made up his mind. As for Yen Lang, he was determined to make a name for himself in front of the crowd of demons. Therefore he stood up and announced that he would immediately bestow upon Xiaohan the consummate medicine that he had painstakingly concocted, so that Xiaohan could awaken his 600,000th demonic meridian in front of everyone. Huh. Xiaohan was slightly startled. He stared at the medicine. He saw that the medicine in Yen Lang's hand was rose-red and there were extremely vivid patterns on its surface. Vivid and lifelike. It emitted a strange meaty fragrance. Xiaohan released his psychic wave and scanned it. He could feel that the ingredients of this treasure medicine were extremely precious. Who knew how many heavenly treasures were contained within it, as well as the aura of treasure that was rarely seen in thousands of years. Oh, Grandmaster, I will take this medicine now. Xiaohan immediately stretched out his hand. According to Xiaohan's plan, he would capture Yen Lang as soon as he got the medicine. There was no time to waste. As for this medicine, Xiaohan still had a glimmer of hope. If he could use this opportunity to awaken his 600,000th meridian and overcome this hurdle, it would be a huge boost to Xiaohan's demonic arts and combat ability. However, it was at this moment that the taciturn Emperor Woodfern suddenly called for a halt. Wait. Master Yen Lang, Silver-Masked Demon Emperor. Wait a moment, all of you. Emperor Woodfern's voice rang out in a domineering voice. It also contained a kind of excitement that was hard to detect. Oh, great Emperor Woodfern, what are you doing? Yen Lang asked. As for Xiaohan, his entire body was tense. The 599999 demonic meridians on his left demonic, the arch palm started to vibrate, gathering demonic energy. 13 demonic techniques were ready to be unleashed. Ha! Great Emperor Woodfern said slowly. Silver-Masked Demon Emperor, you are indeed highly regarded by Master Yen Lang. With the Master's training, I have no doubt that you can step into the ranks of the ultimate variant Demon Emperors. However, I'm extremely curious about your potential. Now, I'd like to personally test your potential, Silver-Masked Demon Emperor. Test my potential? Yen Lang suddenly smiled. That's simple. How about this, Great Emperor Woodfern? As he spoke, Yen Lang took out the crystal ball from his storage ring and put the precious herbs in his hand back into his storage ring. Otherwise, we can let the Silver-Masked Demon Emperor inject a bit of his demonic chi into the crystal ball. That way its potential will be clearly displayed. However, that's unnecessary. I've already tested it. The capacity of each awakened demonic meridian of the Silver-Masked Demon Emperor is 50 times that of an ordinary Demon Emperor. A full 50 times. Ah. With this potential, I'm afraid there's no one in the entire demon capital who can rival him. Ah. The Silver-Masked Demon Emperor's potential is unparalleled in the entire demon capital. Unparalleled? What? 50 times? The crowd was in an uproar. Even the ultimate mutated demon emperors that were born with the most honorable bloodline genes only had a capacity that was 20 or 30 times that of common demon emperors. It was rare for them to have a capacity that was 40 times higher than that of common demon emperors. As for 50 times, there was no record of such a thing happening in the demon race of this realm. Of course, the potential of an existence that could evolve into a demon emperor would not lose to Xiaohan. For example, when the Woodfern Emperor was still a demon emperor, its capacity was 34 times that of ordinary demon emperors after its first mutation. After its second mutation, it was 69 times that of ordinary demon emperors. After its final mutation, it was 128 times that of ordinary demon emperors. For example, there was once a fallen demon emperor that was killed by a human hero. When it was a double mutated demon emperor, the capacity of its demonic meridian was less than that of the Woodfern Emperor. It was 50 times more than an ordinary demon emperor. It was exactly the same as Xiaohan's current state. In other words, the Silver-Masked Demon Emperor will definitely evolve into a demon emperor. Another demon emperor said subconsciously. A double mutated demon emperor will have a capacity of 50 times that of ordinary demon emperors. This is a sign that he's about to become a demon emperor. There are precedents. Unbelievable. Is our demon capital going to have an 11th demon emperor? Some of the ultimate variant demon emperors were shocked and jealous. They couldn't help but discuss among themselves. Ah, what do you think, Great Emperor Woodfern? This potential should be enough, right? Yen Lang was very pleased with himself. Great Emperor Woodfern, I'm going to use a peerless treasure to help the Silver Mask evolve. Once it breaks through, how many times will the capacity of ordinary demon emperors increase? 60 times? 70 times? In fact, It might even be close to 100 times. If that's the case, I'll be able to raise it to a demon emperor in a very short period of time. 1 year. I'll make it a demon emperor within a year. Based on Silver Mask's potential, I optimistically estimated that the chances of success were over 99%. Once the Silver Mask becomes a demon emperor, I'll extract its demon blood and refine it. Then, I'll be able to create countless treasures that will allow ordinary ultimate variant demon emperors to become demon emperors. 1,000 years of dominance lies in this one move. Yanlang's eyes were filled with madness. He swept his gaze across all the ultimate variant demon emperors present. All of you are born with noble bloodlines. That's not bad. However, the ultimate variant demon emperor realm is your limit. None of you will be able to evolve to a demon emperor. However, I can tell you responsibly, with my precious medicine, all of you will become emperors. Yanlang's tone was very fanatical, very confident, and filled with indescribable temptation. The scene was boiling. These mutated demon emperors were born with noble bloodlines. Originally, she looked down on Yanlang's precious medicine. After all, Yanlang's medicine could only transform ordinary demon emperors into mutant demon emperors. Moreover, their bloodlines were noble to begin with, so they didn't need to rely on Yanlang's precious medicine. That was a superfluous action, and it might even contaminate their noble bloodline genes. Therefore they were disdainful. But becoming a martial emperor was a different story. Their life levels would soar. Great, the eyes of many ultimate mutant demon emperors lit up. Master. Your speech really makes us very excited. Let's be excited. He was also very enthusiastic. If this plan succeeds according to your plan, then we'll be able to wipe out the human race of this plane and flatten the monster hero pagoda. However, I still want to personally test the Silver Mask Demon Emperor's potential. The Woodfern Emperor paused for a moment, then said solemnly, "Don't worry, Master. It's just a test of potential. It won't harm a single hair on the Silver Mask Demon Emperor's body. This is something I can guarantee." Yes, the Woodfern Emperor had only used the monster god altar to strip the demon race's secret treasure from Xiaohan's body. However, it wouldn't do any harm to Xiaohan's body. That way he could get the demon treasure from Xiaohan and carry on with Yanlang's plan. It was killing two birds with one stone. Is it merely testing one's potential? Yanlang's expression mused for a moment before he opened his mouth and asked. That's fine. Since Emperor Woodfern has spoken, I won't be too stubborn. However, Emperor Woodfern, for the sake of my plan, I hope you won't harm the Silver Mask Demon Emperor. Yanlang turned to Xiaohan with a smile. Silver Mask, don't be nervous. You're related to the future of the demon race of this plane. Emperor Woodfern won't harm you. Xiaohan didn't say a word. At this time, Xiaohan had already raised his energy to the point where he was ready to fight to the death. May I know how Emperor Woodfern will personally test the Silver Mask Demon Emperor's potential? Yanlang asked, still a little worried. Yes, there will be a supreme ceremony of our demon race, Emperor Woodfern said confidently. Test his potential? A supreme ceremony? What a joke. Do you think I'm an idiot? Given your abilities, you can see through my life force, the quality of my demonic chi, and the realm of my demonic energy with a single thought. You're actually going to use a ceremony to test me? Right at this moment, boom. All of a sudden, a torrent of demonic will shot out from the Woodfern Emperor's location. In an instant, the entire five-colored demon palace was filled with heavenly flowers that fell from the sky. It was incomparably divine. A mysterious and oppressive aura descended. Furthermore, a ball of light suddenly appeared in the middle of the five-colored demon palace. It was like an eternal aurora that illuminated the entire palace. An invincible will that could shatter heaven and earth and crush all 3,000 worlds came crashing down. Countless demons felt their souls tremble. They prostrated themselves on the ground, their bodies trembling uncontrollably. Even Yanlang, a human, felt suffocated. His mouth was wide open but he couldn't breathe in. He looked like a dying fish. Ceremony? Screw your ceremony. Is there a need for such a grand and mysterious ceremony just to test one's potential? Screw it. I'll make my move too. In the time it took for a spark to fly off a flint, Xiaohan reached out with his left hand and grabbed at Yanlang. This claw strike was filled with killing intent. A gale arose and the clouds surged while demonic chi surged from all directions, and it dominated the wilderness and swept through everything before it. What? Silver Mask, you. Damn you. Faced with Xiaohan's sudden sneak attack, Yanlang recovered from his shock and roared. However, his eyes were filled with disdain. Trash. I nurtured you, yet you did such a disgraceful thing. However, I have a secret treasure on me. I'm surrounded by ancient formations that can shield me from the demonic chi. Not to mention you, even a martial monarch of the beast race wouldn't be able to break through my protective formation. Yan Lang's words were not wrong. Chapter 367. The scene was chaotic. Yan Lang's birthday celebration had actually turned into a massacre for no reason. Moreover, Yan Lang himself was also overjoyed. The treasure that he relied on to survive in the demon metropolis, the round golden stone in his dantian, was also taken away by Xiaohan. This caused Yan Lang's thousands of protective arrays to evaporate like bubbles in the blink of an eye. Without this magic treasure, Yan Lang's true location was instantly locked on by Xiaohan. No! Yan Lang burst out with a heart-wrenching scream. One had to know that without the protection of the ancient array, any mutated demon emperor could suck his brain and obtain his skills and alchemy abilities. You're just a cave-expanding realm cultivator, come here. Without these arrays to protect you, you're nothing. Suddenly, Xiaohan's left demon emperor palm emitted a ghostly demonic light, and a sorrowful demonic song sounded. It was like an elegy at dusk, and the decadent sound poured into the brain. Pooh! An amber demonic light directly shone on Yan Lang. Ah! No! No! Amidst Yan Lang's tragic wails, a strange thing happened. His entire body shrunk and shrunk again and again. In the end, he was only a few inches in size. With a poochie, he was completely sucked into the 13th groove of the left demon emperor palm. His entire body completely merged into the refined demon emperor crystal that was embedded in the groove. Despair demon compound. This demonic technique was actually useless. It forcefully imprisoned existences weaker than oneself in the courtyard inside the demon emperor crystal, making it impossible for them to escape forever. However, it was useless. It was used to capture Yan Lang alive. It was the only method. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out quickly. How dare you? How dare you imprison me? Silver Mask. You damned lowly thing, you ungrateful bastard. Do you know who I am? I'm Yan Lang. I'm the most outstanding and greatest alchemist in the entire universe. As a human, I'm doing well in the demon metropolis and I'm abusing my power. You actually dare to imprison me? You're courting death. You're courting death. At this moment, that piece of earthen yellow. Inside the lustrous and soft demon emperor crystal, after shrinking, Yan Lang, who was only a few inches in size, was lying on his stomach in the courtyard house, beating his chest and stamping his feet, wailing loudly and cursing with resentment. Let me out. How dare you? Die a horrible death. Let me out. Peng, peng, peng. In fact, Yan Lang had even released his Jinchi to attack the demonic emperor crystal and the courtyard house. However, given his expanding aperture realm Jinchi cultivation, his offensive prowess was simply too weak. As a result, his Jinchi only struck the demonic emperor crystal and the courtyard house. It was like a dragonfly shaking a stone pillar. Yan Lang, don't be noisy. If I let you go now, not even your bones will be left. Do you think those demons don't dare to eat you? Before, they couldn't do anything to you because you were protected by the broken treasure of the innumerable immortals' great array. But now, why don't you go out and give it a try? Even the demon the arch would not be able to resist the urge to suck your brain juice, right? Xiaohan sent a thought into the demon emperor crystal. Sure enough, Yan Lang was so scared that his face turned ashen. In an instant, he collapsed on the courtyard house, no longer jumping around. Yan Lang muttered in a strange manner. What's going on? What's going on? Why did this damn silver mask sneak attack me? It consumed the peerless grade precious medicine that I refined. Deep in its heart, it must have planted the power of faith in me. Even if I asked it to die immediately, it would definitely not hesitate. Why did it sneak attack me? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. As for Xiaohan, the sixth seal forcibly removed the round golden stone from Yan Lang's dantian. It caused the round golden stone to directly fuse into Xiaohan's heart. From the sixth seal, the origin energy of the innumerable immortals' great array spread out and refined the round golden stone. However, it seemed that it would take some time to completely refine this round golden stone. From seizing Yan Lang's treasure to capturing Yan Lang alive, and finally throwing him into the despair demon compound, all of these matters were done in one go, like moving clouds and flowing water, rising and falling like a falcon. It was completed in practically the time of a single breath. As a result, all the demon emperors present, including some of the weaker demon emperors, were dumbfounded. In the blink of an eye, Yen Lang had disappeared. But at this time, Emperor Woodfern was also ready. His demonic consciousness soared into the sky as he summoned the demon god altar and sent it crashing towards Xiaohan. An enormous amount of demonic qi tore apart heaven and earth. The entire five-colored demon temple was filled with a supreme will. Mysterious energy rippled from the demon god altar, suppressing everything in its path. Tens of thousands of demons bowed their heads. The majestic demon god altar was like an ancient demon palace descending from the heavens. Golden demonic light illuminated the world, solemn and dignified, but also filled with endless demonic mystery. Ancient demonic runes appeared, flickering incessantly as if they could explode at any moment. As soon as the demon god altar appeared, every demon race present, including the 10 great monarchs of the demon race, felt like they were on a pilgrimage as they prostrated themselves in worship. We respectfully welcome the descent of the demon god's will. This silver mask monstrous dominator is not well known, but he has a secret treasure of the monstrous clan. Lord Monstrous God, please judge the silver mask monstrous dominator. The Woodfern demon emperor's voice boomed like a great bell, echoing out in all directions. What? The will of the demon god? Xiaohan's heart trembled. As expected, you're using this move against me. However, the demon egg in Xiaohan's heart actually emitted a joyful intent, as if some terrifying creature had been awakened. It began to wriggle violently. Soul fluctuations erupted from the core of the heart, forming a kind of tacit understanding with the demon egg's wriggling. The slightest movement from the demon egg caused mountains and rivers to tremble, and stars to fall from the sky. What? The demon egg seems to be giving birth to some powerful life form. Xiaohan felt like he was about to go crazy. At the same time, boom! The seals on the surface of the demon egg seemed to have been awakened. Countless ancient wills. All of them surged. These wills. They were the wills of the ancient sages of the human race. Their auras were pure and holy, as if they could purify all filth and demonic energy in the world. All of the seals trembled in unison, trying their best to seal away the pulsating life force within the demon egg. Soon, the surface of the egg glowed with a bright light. This light seemed to be the origin of light, the sacred light from the world of immortals. In other words, inside Xiaohan's heart, the demon egg and the seals on the surface of the eggshell were engaged in a fierce battle. Xiaohan coughed up a mouthful of blood as his heart clenched in pain. That demon egg actually sent me a wisp of its will, telling me to approach the demon god altar. If it weren't for the seals on the surface of the eggshell, it would have taken control of my mind. If it weren't for the seal on the surface of the eggshell, it would have strengthened the seal. Then I will definitely be controlled by the demon egg. No. I'm a human. I can't be controlled by the demon egg. Go. In the blink of an eye, Xiaohan extracted all the energy contained in the 599,999 demonic veins. A torrent of demonic energy poured into the North Mystic Demonic Emperor crystal. Illusory. Xiaohan's figure turned into a ray of light as he leaped out of the demon capital. One had to know that Xiaohan's left arm was a demonic monarch palm. Its quality had greatly improved, and its demonic energy was as vast as the ocean. Now that he was using his full strength, he could practically teleport. Furthermore, his speed was countless times faster than the speed of sound. He could leap nearly 1,000,000 li in an instant. Let me get out of the demon capital first. Trying to escape. Make your move, Monarch Woodfern. The demonic monarch shrieked. You're full of tricks indeed. Furthermore, this demonic art of yours is very strange. If it were any other monarch, they might have already been able to escape. But, stay behind. Supreme Time Demonic Art. Monarch Woodfern extended his hand. An enormous demonic talisman shot out of his right palm, blotting out the sky. However, it exploded into smithereens in the blink of an eye. In the blink of an eye, every inch of space in the demon capital was filled with countless tadpole-like demonic runes. They formed countless demonic formations in the blink of an eye, each of them locking down a section of space and time. In the blink of an eye, the entire third level of the demon capital was locked down by demonic formations. The flow of time in the third level of the demon capital grew heavy and slow. The flow of time slowed down. The Woodfern monarch had actually altered the laws of time. To alter the laws of space and time, even the tiniest bit, was something only the pagoda masters of the human race, a handful of powerhouses, and the demonic monarchs were capable of. Bzzz Xiao Han's flickering afterimage shattered. His true body was locked outside the Pentashade Palace. Logically speaking, Xiao Han had drained all of his demonic energy and used a technique that could move hundreds of thousands of li in a flash. It was almost impossible for him to be locked down. But Monarch Woodfern had expended a large amount of demonic energy to forcibly change time and freeze the void. He had actually managed to lock down Xiao Han's true body. Suppress. Hong, the demon god's sacrificial altar appeared above Xiao Han's head. You dare touch me? Yanlang will die. Xiao Han had nowhere to run. All of his demonic energy had been drained dry, and his thoughts were a little sluggish in the face of Monarch Woodfern's ultimate technique. He had nowhere else to run and could only use Yanlang as a threat. You're still trying to play tricks when things have come to this? Once you're suppressed, all of your secrets will be revealed. Furthermore, you won't be able to kill Grandmaster Yanlang. Suppress. 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 Hong, the demon god's sacrificial altar fell down like a lid. It trapped Xiao Han within. That's enough. Under the mighty will of the demon god, all of the silver-masked demon emperor's secrets will be revealed. If he resists in the slightest and angers the demon god, his body will be reduced to ashes in an instant. Monarch Woodfern heaved a sigh of relief. I've used up a lot of my demonic energy to execute the great time art. Now, let's see how the will of the demon god will deal with the silver-masked demon emperor. To be continued. Chapter 368. Yanlang's birthday ceremony had taken a huge turn for the worse. Yanlang had been captured by Xiao Han, who had been summoned to the demon god altar by the 10 great demon emperors. A long time later, what's going on? What's going on? Many ultimate variant demon emperors had come to their senses and voiced their doubts and fear. And the demon god altar floating in the void made all the ultimate mutant demon emperors anxious and uneasy. Grandmaster, where is Grandmaster? Grandmaster, the dozens of ultimate variant demon emperors under Yanlang cried out in fear. Shut up. One of the demon emperors snorted in displeasure. Forget it. All of you can leave. There's nothing for you to do here anymore. He waved his hand and a surge of demonic energy swept out. In the blink of an eye, all the demon emperors in the 3rd level of the demon metropolis were teleported away. Only the 10 great demon emperors were left in the 3rd level of the demon metropolis. Emperor Woodfern, what should we do now? One of the great demon emperors asked in a low voice. The situation is under control, Emperor Woodfern said confidently. The silver-masked demon emperor can't play any tricks now. Let's wait quietly for the demon god's will to judge the silver-masked demon emperor. If nothing goes wrong and Lord Demon God has mercy on us, we might be able to get some benefits from the silver-masked demon emperor. Tiske, even we don't dare to touch the origin energy of the demon race in his body. If this energy can be separated and refined by us, it will bring indescribable benefits to our demon bodies. That's right. Perhaps this opportunity might allow us to ascend to the upper world. We can ascend to the higher realms. Another demon emperor said. Another demon emperor agreed. Suddenly, another martial monarch beast hesitated for a moment before speaking. Emperor Woodfern, great demon emperors, I've only been a demon emperor for a short period of time, so I don't know much about the upper world. I wonder if Emperor Woodfern and great demon emperors can tell me more about it? Hee. Hearing that, Emperor Woodfern and the other great emperors burst into laughter. The demon emperor smiled awkwardly. I only know that the so-called upper realm is divided into the demon realm and the immortal realm. The diabolic demonic emperor. You haven't been an emperor for long, so you don't know much about the upper realm. Compared to us, you're still a stranger. I'm in a good mood today, so I'll tell you a bit about it. Emperor Woodfern smiled. That's right, diabolic demon emperor. Just as you said, the upper world is further divided into the demon world and the immortal world. Great Emperor Woodfern began to explain. The so-called realm of demons is the high-level demon clan that is led by the great Lord Demon God. High-level demon race? That's right, high-level demons. The bloodline of the high-ranking demon clans born in the supreme demon realm is not something that we demon emperors can compare to. In the demon world, the demon god subordinates are known as demon emperors. However, they cannot be compared to the demon emperors of ordinary planes like us, the Woodfern demon emperor said seriously. We're simply trash compared to the demon emperors of the demon realm. They were both demon emperors, But the demon emperors in the demon realm were many times stronger than the demon emperors in the ordinary realms. The other 9 demon emperors held their breaths as they listened attentively to the Woodfern demon emperor. In the demon world, the demon emperors under Lord Demon God's command have extremely noble bloodlines and genes, and their true forms are extremely terrifying. For example, some of the demon emperors in the demon world are 30,000 meters tall, and their awakened demon meridians can form a dimension of their own that can encompass the 4 seas and the heavens. Tell me, do you think they can compare to us? Grand Emperor Woodfern said solemnly. Let me tell you. Don't doubt me. Some of the demon emperors of the demon world have bodies that are planets. Ah. Bodies that are planets? What, are you scared? Frogs at the bottom of a well. Emperor Woodfern sneered. This emperor's demonic body and demonic power are slightly superior to all of you. That's why I know a bit more than you do. There's one thing I've never mentioned to you before, but there's no harm in telling you now. Once, I released my demonic sense and tried to probe the demon world. I actually managed to make contact with some scattered will. These scattered wills were left behind by a demon emperor of the demon world. The will left behind by a demon emperor of the demon world. That's right. Do you know how terrifying the demon emperor's true form is? There are a total of 81 planets in its body. In other words, its demon body is made up of 81 planets. They were scared stiff. The rest of the 9 demon thearchs were completely frightened. Gurgling sounds came from their throats, as if an invisible hand was squeezing their throats. How big was a planet? If the plane the demon emperors resided in was a planet, then the body of the demon emperor Woodfern demon world's demon emperor was equivalent to 81 such planes. How much demonic chi could such a huge demon body contain? They didn't even dare to imagine it. In short, every demon emperor's true form stretches for thousands of miles, tens of thousands of meters above sea level, forming a world of its own. There's no need for you to be afraid. After all, life forms are on a different level. It's enough for us to understand a little. Emperor Woodfern's tone suddenly grew tense. As for the demon realm's demon emperor that I spoke of, the demon realm's demon emperor that was formed from 81 planets, it was killed and perished. Only the remnant of its will was accidentally encountered by my demon awareness. What? How could such a powerful demon race creature, a leviathan-like existence, be killed so easily? How could he have died? The 9-headed demonic emperor screamed in disbelief. Shut up. Emperor Woodfern snorted. It was killed by an immortal of the human race. Do you think that the immortal world of the higher worlds doesn't give birth to experts? The human race. Experts born from them are immortals. The demon emperor of the demon world is indeed a giant. But immortals. They aren't weak. Every immortal can roam the universe with their fleshly body. They can roam outer space. They can destroy planets with a wave of their hand, devour the stars and live for eternity. It was too terrifying. The demon emperor was strong, but the immortals of the human race were just as freakish. Emperor Woodfern, your words are making me dizzy. It's making me dizzy. The dark demon emperor, who asked the question just now, was extremely terrified. Forget it. These existences aren't existences we can touch. Now I'll continue with the higher worlds. The higher worlds include the demon world and the immortal world, but don't think that the demon world and the immortal world are two different places. There is only one demon realm and immortal realm. They're on the same plane. In this plane, the human immortals are the eternal enemies of the demon world. They're also the eternal enemies of the demon world. Seriously. In the upper realm, the human clans are more powerful than the demon clans. The human clans have more celestials than the emperors of the demon realm. If it weren't for Lord Demon God, the demon realm would have been destroyed by the celestial realm a long time ago. Thus, the human immortals could unify the higher worlds. So the demon world and the immortal world are on the same plane, the demon emperor said, understanding dawning on them. There's only one higher world. But there are many ordinary planes like the one we're in right now. These ordinary planes were almost the same, with humans and demons living in them. However, in some dimensions, the human clan has already completely exterminated the demon clan, while in other dimensions, the demon clan has exterminated the human clan. However, we're natural enemies and we're always at war with each other, the Woodfern Emperor explained. However, in the upper realm, be it human immortals or monster emperors, it's very, very difficult for them to descend to an ordinary plane like ours. The beings of the higher worlds are too terrifying. If they descend, their auras alone are enough to crush ordinary planes like ours. For the same reason, it's almost impossible for the beings of ordinary planes like us to ascend to the higher worlds. However, the world is unpredictable. There are a few ways for the beings of the higher worlds to descend. Generally speaking, there are two ways for high-level beings from the higher worlds to descend. The first is to create a spatial passageway and break through the spatial barrier between ordinary planes and the higher worlds. However, this requires an enormous amount of energy. Furthermore, only the weakest immortals and demon emperors of the higher worlds can descend cautiously. Only existences whose bodies aren't able to crush ordinary planes can break through the spatial barrier and descend. The second is to descend with their souls. This soul descending to the mortal world involved the problem of possession. The immortals of the higher worlds or the powerhouses of the Yao world can possess the bodies of beings from ordinary planes and descend with their souls. However, the bodies of ordinary planes are too weak, so it's very dangerous for the beings of the higher worlds to descend with their souls. Without a sufficiently strong physical body, the beings of the higher worlds can't risk sending their souls down. If they fail, their souls will be destroyed. On the other hand, the beings of ordinary planes can ascend to the higher worlds. However, there are two ways. First, if a human cultivator with true energy can become an immortal and cultivate an immortal body, they can be received by the immortals of the higher worlds and ascend. Demon emperors like us can also ascend to the Yao world when our bodies reach a certain level of strength. Second, our souls can ascend to the higher worlds. Our souls can ascend to the higher worlds and possess a body. But, unless the higher-ups specially prepared a body to guide your soul to possess, how could a weak creature from the lower realm complete the possession of a creature from the upper realm? Emperor Woodfern, we understand now. Then, are there any immortals among the humans in the Yaoxia Tower in our plane? Probably not. It's almost impossible for immortals to exist in ordinary planes. The spatial barriers of ordinary planes can't withstand the aura of human immortals. It'll cause space to collapse and time to become chaotic. The immortals of the higher worlds aren't foolish enough to descend with their souls. After all, even if the possession succeeds, the immortal's strength will be limited. In our plane, there are only a few false immortals among the humans of our plane, Emperor Woodfern said confidently. False immortals? Emperor Woodfern smiled disdainfully. Yes. They've absorbed a small amount of immortal energy and used it to cleanse their bodies. We can still deal with false immortals. At the very least, we won't lose to them. All of a sudden, the Woodfern Demon Emperor's voice grew hoarse. I'm almost certain that the essence energy in the silver-masked monster emperor's body doesn't come from an ordinary plane. It's likely that it was left behind by one of the monster emperors of the higher worlds. Now, we can use the monster god sacrificial altar to dispel that energy. If we benefit from it, our bodies will definitely advance by leaps and bounds. In fact, there's even a possibility that we'll ascend. Once our bodies reach a certain level of strength, we'll be able to break through the spatial barriers between ordinary planes and the Yao world. Once we ascend to the Yao world, we'll be on a completely different level. Furthermore, we'll be able to obtain more perfect cultivation opportunities and more precious resources. We'll also have treasures we can't even begin to imagine. Even if we can't ascend, as long as our bodies grow stronger, we'll be able to sweep through the humans of this plane. Those false immortals will also be killed and devoured by us. Grand Emperor Woodfern's eyes twitched as he stared at the floating demon god sacrificial altar in the sky. Let's see how the will of the Yao god judges the silver-masked monster emperor. Meanwhile, the monster god sacrificial altar hovering above the five-colored monstrous palace was completely enveloped by demonic consciousness and demonic light. The will of the Yao god had descended upon the altar, taking control of everything. Chapter 369. At this moment, Xiaohan was completely trapped in the demon god altar. After Xiaohan entered the demon god altar, the layers of pavilions, the bronze hall, the 9,999 white jade steps, the massive sculptures on both sides of the steps, and the countless weapons of the demon race all turned into formations, suppressing Xiaohan completely. The formations were set up with the demonic consciousness of the 10 great monarchs as the foundation. They were filled with demonic aura and were capable of sealing space and freezing time. It was like catching a turtle in a jar. With the will of the beast god as the core, the formations unleashed a monstrous demonic aura that could overturn seas and rivers. Shit, Xiaohan stood on the spot and looked around. I'm trapped here. No, I have to kill my way out. I can't die here. Xiaohan sat down cross-legged and took out a large number of heavenly desolation demonic fruits from his storage ring. One by one, the heavenly desolation demonic fruits entered the palm of his left monarch beast left arm to replenish the depleted demonic energy of his 599,999 demonic meridians. A long time later, Xiaohan let out a breath of turbid air and rose to his feet. His left arm was brimming with demonic energy. The 599,999 demonic meridians were filled with pure demonic aura. The slightest movement was enough to cause a landslide or tsunami. Charge out. Boom! He poured all his demonic energy into the North Mystic Beast King crystal. The escaping demonic art, illusory movement, was executed once again. Now, when Xiaohan used this move, illusory movement, it was as if he was teleporting. In an instant he could leap over 1,000,000 kilometers. It was enough for him to teleport back to the human world from the demon capital. The move he had executed just now. It had been forcefully stopped by Emperor Woodfern's laws of time. Now that Emperor Woodfern wasn't watching from the side, Xiaohan could try illusory movement again. It was better than waiting for death. Whoosh! In the blink of an eye, Xiaohan's figure turned into a ray of light, with countless afterimages and mirror images rising into the air. There was even a spatial storm. In just 1/100th of a second, I've successfully teleported 1,000,000 kilometers. Xiaohan was overjoyed. This time, his movements were illusory and he wasn't disturbed at all. This allowed Xiaohan to teleport 1,000,000 miles to his heart's content as he pleased. However, when Xiaohan's body froze again, he looked around and was completely dumbfounded. Demonic chi rumbled from all directions in a chaotic mess. He was actually unable to jump out of the Fey God altar. I clearly teleported 1,000,000 miles away, but I'm still trapped in the demon god sacrificial altar. Xiaohan was shocked. Boom, 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 boom. Suddenly, the demonic aura in all directions was like mercury. It pressed down on Xiaohan. Demonic chi was thick and fiendish shadows were everywhere. The space around Xiaohan seemed to have frozen. There was a sense of difficulty in moving forward. What should we do? I can't fly out even if I use illusory movement. Xiaohan grew anxious. In the next moment, demonic aura surged towards him. Xiaohan subconsciously raised his left arm and gritted his teeth. Demonic the arch palm sucked the demonic aura dry. Whatever demonic aura, demonic consciousness or demonic formation, suck them all for me. Under the control of Xiaohan's mind, the demonic the arch palm on his left arm burst out a horrifying suction force like a black hole and a sound of surging tides. It was like a furnace that swallowed all demonic aura. Boom. Refine. Nothing was forbidden. Goo, goo, goo. Around Xiaohan's body, wisps of demonic aura broke down into rays of dazzling and demonic flowing light and fused into Xiaohan's demonic the arch palm on his left arm. Buzz, buzz, buzz. The 600,000th demon vein actually transmitted a throbbing sound. It gave Xiaohan a subtle sign that he was about to awaken. Oh! Xiaohan was startled. The demonic aura in the demon god sacrificial altar can indeed be absorbed by my demonic the arch palm. Tisk tisk. Moreover, the quality of the demonic aura in this sacrificial altar is surprisingly high. The quality of the demonic aura is countless times higher than the energy from the ultimate mutation demon emperor's corpse. It's actually very helpful for the awakening of the 600,000th demon vein. It's a great supplement, a great supplement. I don't care about that for now. Absorb it for me. Absorb it. Xiaohan's left arm moved and demonic light filled the sky. Boom, boom, boom. More and more demonic aura was being absorbed into the demonic the arch palm tattoo on Xiaohan's left arm. What? Emperor Woodfern roared in shock and anger from within the five-colored demonic palace. What's going on? The demonic sense and demonic aura I used to construct the demon god sacrificial altar are flowing away. Damn it. That silver-masked demon emperor is refining my demonic sense and demonic aura. The silver-masked demon emperor can even refine your demonic sense and demonic aura. That's unbelievable. A mere demon emperor can refine a demonic emperor's demonic sense and demonic aura. That's a rare thing. Several demonic thearchs exclaimed in shock. I understand now. It must be because of that artifact. It must be the silver-masked demon emperor's secret treasure. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to absorb my demonic aura and demonic sense. Damn it. Damn it. The Woodfern demon emperor howled. However, one of the demonic thearchs sneered. Don't be surprised, Emperor Woodfern. That bastard is courting death by refining demonic aura that doesn't belong to him. Demonic aura of different attributes will clash within his demonic veins. It's just like how a true Qi realm cultivator can't cultivate more than one type of true Qi at the same time. The clash of different types of true Qi could lead to cultivation deviation. Not long after, oh? The silver-masked demon emperor is refining my demonic aura and demonic sense as well. He's refining my demonic aura and demonic sense as well? He's refining them at random. Soon, Emperor Woodfern wasn't the only one who found his demonic aura and demonic sense being refined by Xiaohan. The other 9 demonic thearchs weren't spared either. One had to know that the demon god sacrificial altar was created by the combined efforts of the 10 demonic thearchs. They had to use their demonic sense and demonic aura. Only then did they succeed. Xiaohan didn't care about the demonic aura at all. As long as it was demonic aura, he would refine it. You're courting death. One of the demonic thearchs had a cold gaze and his tone was filled with mockery. The 10 of us demonic thearchs cultivate different demonic arts. Because of our bloodlines, our demonic auras are different. Some of our demonic auras even clash with each other. The silver-masked demon emperor is refining our demonic aura into his demonic body. He must be tired of living. I'd like to see how he's going to end up. I'm afraid the demonic god won't even need to judge him. His body will explode and he'll die. But right at that moment. Boom. Above the demonic god altar. A mushroom cloud of demonic aura exploded into the surroundings. The tempest of demonic aura wriggled madly, forming an enormous palace above the demonic god altar. It was translucent and sparkling as if it were made of crystal. Soon, crystal demonic tigers, demonic elephants, and demonic rocks appeared within the palace, as if they were imbued with life. Soon, a demonic wind began to howl from the crystal palace, sweeping through everything in its path. Within the demonic wind, all sorts of demonic beasts appeared, like flowers falling from the sky. The distracting thoughts of the mortal world and all sorts of phenomenons surged over one after another. What's going on? Why is there such strong demonic aura? The 10 demonic thearchs were stunned by what they were seeing. They had no idea what was going on. A few breaths later, that bastard broke through. He actually broke through in the demonic god altar. Emperor Woodfern let out a cry of disbelief. He absorbed the demonic aura and demonic sense of the 10 demonic thearchs, and not only did he not explode, he actually broke through. He's become a mutated demonic emperor. Damn it. This is preposterous. This is preposterous. What kind of freak is he to break through like that? Meanwhile, Xiaohan. Boom. In the midst of all sorts of strange phenomena, the 600,000th demonic vein finally exploded. Wonderful. After absorbing the demonic chi from the altar, the tattoo on my left arm finally broke through its shackles and took the final step to mutate. Xiaohan's eyes shone with a brilliant light. His entire left arm was filled with a demonic wind, piercing through the void. Then, something even more shocking happened. The 600,000th demonic vein on the left arm exploded at the same time. Streams of light danced on the demon emperor's palm. The demon meridians were being reconstructed at a speed visible to the naked eye. Each demon meridian was translucent, flawless, and absolutely perfect. They glowed with resplendent light and vitality. The reconstructed demon meridians were inscribed with runes praising the demon god. Those runes seemed to be able to pierce through space and devour the energy of the demon world. Each demonic vein on the left arm glowed with the luster of the demonic world, as if each demonic vein had its own dimension, a world of its own. 150 times. Xiaohan immediately understood. Now that the demonic emperor left arm's palm has mutated, the capacity of each demonic vein is 150 times that of an ordinary demonic emperor. Lord Demonic God. The demonic chi of the silver-masked demonic emperor has become so domineering after mutating. What do we do now, Monarch Woodfern? Let's work together to suppress it. A demonic emperor shrieked. Monarch Woodfern pondered for a moment before saying sternly, "Wait. The will of the demonic god is still here. I refuse to believe that the silver-masked demonic emperor can refine the will of the demonic god." Inside the demonic god altar. This is great. My demonic chi has increased by several times. Let's see if I can teleport out of the demonic capital. With a thought, the demonic chi from the 600,000 demonic veins surged towards the Beishan demonic emperor crystal. However, right at that moment, whoosh, that wisp of the demon god's will was like a flood dragon, directly shooting towards Xiaohan. At the same time, the demonic egg in Xiaohan's heart emitted an unprecedented joy. Pfft. A huge lump protruded from Xiaohan's heart. The seals on the surface of the demonic egg also emitted a shocking will, but it seemed like they could no longer stop the rhythm of the demonic egg. Xiao Han instinctively felt that the demonic egg was welcoming the will of the demonic god. It was as if the sixth seal was reacting to the treasure in Yanlang's dantian. Don't come over. Xiao Han's heart shuddered. He was about to teleport away with his demonic god. However, whoosh, that wisp of the demon god's will shot into Xiao Han's body at lightning speed. To be continued? Chapter 370. No one would have thought that the demon god altar that the 10 great demon emperors had spent so much demonic chi and demonic awareness to build would become the nourishment of Xiao Han's left arm. As the left arm devoured the demonic chi like a whale, the 600,000th demonic vein was finally awakened. It had officially entered the ranks of the ultimate mutation. Moreover, each demonic vein had been remolded and shone brightly. Its capacity had increased to 150 times that of a normal demon emperor's demonic vein. It shook the world. Bang, 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 bang. The demon god altar collapsed. Illusory movement, jump out of the demon metropolis. Xiao Han's mind was tense. He wanted to pour out all his demonic chi and flee for his life. Moreover, after the ultimate mutation of the left arm's demon god palm, his demonic chi had increased by leaps and bounds. However, at this moment, Xiao, that strand of demonic god's will slithered into Xiao Han's body like a fish. Wu, suddenly, a very strange feeling gripped Xiao Han, causing his body to freeze in the air. The move that he had already prepared, illusory movement, could not be released at this moment. What's going on? It seems that even moving, it seems like, it's not enough. Xiao Han was terrified. Xiao. Xiao Han also felt that the strand of demonic god's will had started to wander around his limbs and even his meridians and blood vessels after entering his body. His pores. It was wandering around his internal organs. It was reluctant to go. It was as if the strand of demonic god's will was extremely interested in every organ and every detail of Xiao Han's body. It's not? Xiao Han was shocked and scared. He quickly looked inside his body and saw that the strand of demonic god's will was lingering around his liver. It was intertwined with each other and glittered like the stars in the sky. It was as if an antique fanatic was appreciating a perfect jade artifact. The demonic god's will wandered around Xiao Han's liver for a few times and then moved to Xiao Han's spleen and kidneys. An obscure joyful fluctuation was transmitted from the strand of demonic god's will. Xiao Han could faintly feel it. This will of a Yao god. It's actually treating my body as its body, and it seems to be. I'm very, very satisfied with my body. Xiao Han's whole body turned cold. A coldness that he had never felt before occupied his heart, causing his entire body to shiver. That wisp of demon god's willpower seemed to have a life of its own. It wantonly entered Xiao Han's body, tasting and appreciating the state of Xiao Han's vitality. Moreover, it gave off a very subtle feeling. It seemed that it was quite appreciative of Xiao Han's body. Terrifying. It was too terrifying. Possession? A horrifying word flashed into Xiao Han's mind without him noticing. You don't know how to. How could a mere wisp of the demon god's will be able to possess me? Impossible. All of a sudden Xiao Han's heart was filled with killing intent. He couldn't restrain himself and wanted to kill that wisp of demon god's will. However, as soon as the thought appeared in his mind, a sharp demonic chi shot out from the palm of the demon god's left arm towards the wisp of demon god's will. However, before the sharp demonic chi could get close to the demon god's will, it was turned into ashes. Xiao Han felt as if he had blasphemed against a god and deserved to die 1,000 times over. Xiao Han's legs became weak and he felt remorse in the depths of his heart. What's going on? I have no way of killing that wisp of demon god's will. Furthermore, if I have the slightest thought of killing that wisp of demon god's will, I'll be condemned in the depths of my heart. Xiao Han was truly shocked to the extreme. Just like that, Xiao Han was strangely frozen in midair. He did not move an inch, just like an ancient statue. The demon god's sacrificial altar has collapsed. Damn it. The silver-masked demon emperor has destroyed the demon god's sacrificial altar. This is disrespect to the demon god. This is blasphemy. A demon emperor bared his teeth and howled. His demonic eyes looked as if they were about to spit fire and devour someone. Great Emperor Woodfern. Kill the silver-masked demon emperor. He deserves to die 1,000 times over. Do it. Great Emperor Woodfern, although this fellow has reached the ultimate variant Demon Emperor realm, his demonic energy is still far inferior to ours. We can easily turn him into dust with a wave of our hands. Let's do it now to prevent him from doing anything strange again, another Demon Emperor said. Great Emperor Woodfern shook his head slightly. Let's wait a little longer. The demon gods will seems to have entered the silver-masked Demon Emperor's body. Look, the silver-masked Demon Emperor is acting very strangely now. It seems like he can't exert even the slightest bit of his demonic energy. He wants to escape, but he doesn't seem to have the strength to do so. Yes, I understand now. The demon god's will is judging him. Ah. His eyes are filled with despair and helplessness. They are filled with fear. That's right, something must have happened in his body that can completely intimidate him. Ah. The demon god's will is starting to judge him. We'll wait patiently at the side. If we act rashly now, it will be disrespectful to the demon god. That seems to be the case. The other demon emperors carefully observed Xiao Han's current situation and nodded their heads. Just a strand of his will is enough to completely suppress me and immobilize me. Furthermore, this strand of the demon god's will is giving me the feeling of a terrifying ancient being. This will also seems to contain a feeling of being unrestrained, lawless, indifferent to the world and supremacy of the world. Xiao Han had completely shrunk back. His entire body was almost curled up. Right at this moment, gurgle, 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 the demon egg in his heart began to wriggle, bursting with an overjoyed will as it began to receive the strand of the demon god's will. Rustle, 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 all the seals on the demon egg began to tremble, unleashing their strongest sealing power in an attempt to stop the demon egg from receiving the strand of the demon god's will. Thus, the demon egg and the countless seals began to fight fiercely. Killing intent continued to spread. Mountains of corpses and seas of bones. Corpses and bones filled the land, blood filled the 9 provinces, the 8 wastelands were destroyed, and the mountains and rivers were turned to ashes. Ah! Xiao Han's heart twisted. Intense pain. It was as if he was being bitten by thousands of ants, sliced by thousands of blades, and about to be torn apart. Ah! Damn it! The demon egg and the seal will be my heart. As a battlefield for a decisive battle. Pain? It hurts. Xiao Han's body started to tremble as he screamed in pain. Buff, buff. Clouds of bloody mist burst out of Xiao Han's pores. Oh? The silver-masked demon emperor seemed to be being tortured. Ah! This must be the demon god's judgment. Ah! Was doomed. It won't be long before I'm reduced to ashes. Emperor Woodfern smiled in relief. This strange fellow had a fortuitous encounter, but in the face of Lord Demon God's will, he is insignificant. It was simply insignificant. He hoped that its secrets would be revealed. We'll get a share of it. The rest of the 9-headed demon emperors nodded in satisfaction. A puny demon emperor. How can he defy the heavens? How can he not be restrained? Pain? This is the kind of pain I can't bear. Xiao Han grimaced in pain. He was in so much pain that he felt like his liver was being torn apart. Although Xiao Han's body was strong and his organs, meridians and bones were impenetrable, he still couldn't endure the pain coming from his heart. It was to the extent that even the heat of the indestructible golden body was unable to alleviate this explosive pain. This kind of pain made Xiao Han want to die immediately. But right at that moment, boom! The will of the demon god seemed to have studied enough of Xiao Han's life force. Like an evil dragon, it rushed into Xiao Han's heart. It was unstoppable. Pooh! The will of the demon god forcefully broke through the layers of seals. Like quicksilver spilling onto the ground, it permeated every nook and cranny and finally fused into the demon egg. Time seemed to freeze in that instant. The next moment, boom! It was as if a barrel of gunpowder had been ignited. In the blink of an eye, the countless seals that wrapped around the demon egg violently trembled and immediately shattered into pieces, all of them collapsing. One after another, the seals were almost broken. Ka-ka-ka-ka-ka-ka-ka-ka-ka-ka-ka. The surface of the eggshell was like a broken piece of jade. Hundreds and thousands of cracks appeared. The pain in Xiao Han's heart instantly disappeared. He was no longer in pain. But his brain was numb. Oh no! It was as if the densely packed seals had been defeated. The demon egg has defeated it. There are countless cracks on the surface of the eggshell. Just as Xiao Han was thinking about this. Poo, piu, piu. From the cracks on the surface of the eggshell, waves of demonic aura burst out. The demonic chi was accompanied by the resplendent starlight that sprayed out continuously. Every time it sprayed out, the Milky Way would shatter and the stars would fall. Strange phenomena appeared, and there was a kind of poetic conception of falling sounds. Moreover, the demonic aura and starlight were constantly pouring into Xiaohan's blood vessels, organs, bones, cells, and even the left arm of the demon god. Waves of lawless energy were crazily injected into Xiaohan's body. There were even waves of demonic aura that rushed into Xiaohan's sea of consciousness. A memory fragment that did not belong to Xiaohan rushed into Xiaohan's soul. It was the shadow of a deity with its hands behind its back. Its face could not be seen clearly, but its aura was unparalleled. It had a domineering aura that could swallow the mountains and rivers, control the universe and rule over the heavens and earth. It was as if it could crush the sun and the moon with a casual move. Thunder rumbled in the void. Countless laws were brewing, capable of destroying the heavens and earth with a single thought. However, this memory fragment was quickly occupied by another completely different memory fragment. This memory fragment was a graveyard. It was filled with a deathly aura. There were countless creatures tens of thousands of feet long, densely packed, slaughtered and fallen. There were also some corpses of immortals, scattered all over the graveyard. Before Xiaohan's thoughts could react, before he could completely integrate these two memory fragments, more and more memory fragments suddenly rushed into Xiaohan's brain. Countless ancient, mysterious, unknown, and terrifying memories that did not belong to Xiaohan appeared one after another. Ah! Xiaohan's brain felt like it was about to explode. He had a splitting headache. He held his head with both hands and let out a howl. At the same time, the demonic aura in Xiaohan's body rose rapidly, as if it would never stop. 100 times. 1,000 times. 10,000 times. 1,000,000 times. Xiaohan's demonic aura rose sharply. The rules and order of this space began to become chaotic. Ah! Xiaohan let out a beast-like howl. His eyes turned red. A deep red color. Killing, evil, terror, extermination, domination, dominance, invincibility, and dominator were brewing in his eyes, streams of almost invincible demonic aura, which even surpassed the 10 great demon emperors by countless times, rushed out of Xiaohan's body. Like thousands of demonic dragons, they swept everywhere, and the void within a radius of tens of thousands of miles began to explode. Each explosion seemed to be able to destroy a small world. Every explosion seemed like it was going to blast the demon into pieces. The aftermath of the explosion spread far and wide, causing countless demon emperor-level creatures in the demon metropolis, including mutated demon emperors, to be blasted into pieces by the aftermath of the explosions. In the continuous explosions, the quality of the demonic aura that spread out from Xiaohan's body snowballed, becoming stronger and more intense. Xiaohan's flesh, bones, and even his soul and temperament were changing. The stars moved and he kept transforming, turning the world upside down. Furthermore, Xiaohan's aura seemed to have formed some kind of connection with a certain supreme realm in the unseen world. Puff! The silver mask on Xiaohan's face shattered. It revealed a pale, handsome, and young face. Xiaohan's hair grew rapidly, turning blood red, and he looked like a demon god, dancing in the wind. At this moment, Xiaohan's eyes were blood red, and his whole face showed an indescribable demonic aura. Then he let out a bone-chilling scream. Ah! Ah! This plane. I didn't expect it to be such a small plane. Ah! The body of this human young man has a bit of potential, but it is still too weak. It can't bear 100,000th of the true body's energy. This voice definitely did not belong to Xiaohan. This voice contained a monstrous majesty. Like a god. An absolutely invincible figure. At this moment, the 10 great demon emperors were all like quails, curling up, trying their best to activate their natal demonic aura, struggling to hold on, for fear that they would be destroyed by the invincible demonic aura emitted by Xiaohan if they were not careful. They were completely terrified. They had no idea what was going on. Moreover, under the influence of the aura, they were likely to be killed if they moved slightly. There was no chance for them to resist. The atmosphere was extremely oppressive. No. I can't take it anymore. Suddenly, a great emperor finally could not bear the suffocation and fear anymore. He let out a scream, gathering all the demonic aura in his body, and turned into a ray of light, flashing out of the demon metropolis. Oh, such a weak ant? Xiaohan smiled indifferently and grabbed with his left hand. This grab directly destroyed a piece of space. The rules and order of this space were completely shattered. At the place where the space was shattered, a terrifying black hole appeared. It was deep, vast, and contained an endless starry sky. Countless planes were born and destroyed in it. This grab was everlasting, everlasting, the fall of the common people, the creation of a plane, and all the phenomena of heaven and earth were within it. The starry sky of the universe was born and destroyed, and the heavenly Tao collapsed. The great emperor who was trying to escape was crushed into dust by the claw. Not even a speck of dust was left. Ha 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 ha. The remaining 9 great emperors let out strange sounds from their throats. Their bodies trembled violently, and all of them prostrated themselves. All of them were so scared that they peed their pants. The heavens and earth are vast, the universe is vast, the true body is unrivaled in the myriad of worlds. Be it the past or the future, no living being can defeat the true body. The true body is an invincible existence. In this myriad of worlds, I am the only one. Ah! Xiaohan let out an evil and crazy laughter. Chapter 371. The strongest demon on this plane, one of the 10 great demon emperors, had been reduced to dust by a single slap from Xiaohan. Xiaohan's attack had destroyed the void and destroyed the plane. It was practically invincible and unstoppable. The body of the demon emperor was instantly vaporized. Not even a speck of it remained. It was even weaker than a clay figurine. Cough, the Woodfern emperor, who had been insufferably arrogant a moment ago, suddenly fainted. The other 8 great demon emperors also fainted, foaming at the mouth. As for Xiaohan, he stood tall in the sky with a grin on his face. His bloodshot eyes were filled with demonic energy and evil intent. What's going on? This isn't me. It's impossible for me to be this powerful. I killed the demon emperors in the blink of an eye. No, this isn't a power that belongs to the human world. This is almost the power of a god. With this kind of power, it's very easy to shatter this plane. Strangely, there was a ball of psychic energy near Xiaohan's body. This psychic energy had been forcefully squeezed out from Xiaohan's brain. To be more precise, this ball of psychic energy belonged to Xiaohan. The Xiaohan that had killed the demon emperor just now wasn't the real Xiaohan. To put it simply, Xiaohan's soul had been squeezed out of his brain by a powerful divine will, causing his body to fall under the control of that divine will. Xiaohan's strength had also increased by countless times. Possession? Is this what possession means? Xiaohan's psychic energy looked at his body, in a daze. The me I see isn't the real me. My body. Has it been seized? Xiaohan's real psychic energy. He looked at his own body in a daze. He had seen through his own body. His own body was no longer the same as before. In other words, his body didn't seem to belong to a mortal anymore. He could see that his body was filled with billowing waves and water vapor. A vast sea appeared. The fishy wind of the sea blew over, and a bright moon slowly rose from the surface of the sea. The bright moon hung above the sea. Sometimes the sun shone brightly, and the sky was clear and cloudless. Sometimes the stars shone brightly and the night sky was picturesque, deep and mysterious, graceful and graceful. At the core of this body was a ball of extremely high-quality demonic chi, which surpassed all other types of demonic chi. It was spinning and emitting streams of energy. He was modifying this body. This sort of transformation could simply be said to have split the heavens and the earth and stood above the ages. Under this kind of transformation, the muscles of this body were all plump, smooth and flawless. Every muscle, every blood vessel, every bone, and every meridian seemed to have reached a kind of heaviness like gold, iron, diamonds, and stars. Moreover, they formed their own space, their own universe, and could accommodate all rivers in the world. An aura that belonged to a god burst forth from his body. It was holy and noble, surpassing everything. In fact, countless energy substances appeared within his body. These energy substances condensed into an endless world. They were densely packed together, as numerous as the grains of sand in an ocean. Every drop of blood was a world. Every bone was a world. Every acupuncture point was a world. Every cell was a world. These worlds were arranged and combined with each other, operating in the most perfect way. What connected these worlds were the chains of order and the ancient demon clan's talismans. Moreover, this body could automatically absorb the power of space and the elemental dust in the space into his body. Then, the dust would fuse with the particles of his own life force and he would be able to seize the life force of heaven and earth. This body is definitely not an ordinary body. I'm afraid it's the body of a god. It can't be my body. The spiritual energy that truly belonged to Xiao Han suddenly burst out with a tearing pain. It was completely trembling. Sadness, helplessness, confusion, fear, and bewilderment. Then it gradually turned into anger, unwillingness, hatred, and killing intent. This is my body. Yes, I, Xiao Han, am just a mortal. Compared to my current body, I am indeed very weak. I can be destroyed with a flick of a finger. But I will definitely not allow any living being to seize my body. Not allowed. Even if it's an immortal. Or a god. Roar. Xiao Han's spiritual energy burst out with a roar. Take back my body. Take it back. Even if I have to die with you. Boom. The spiritual wave that truly belonged to Xiao Han had originally been forcefully squeezed out and floated around his body. But now, it had turned into a blade-shaped object and was directly slashing towards his head. Let's die together. Even if I die. I can't let my body be seized by other living beings. Die. Xiao Han's spiritual energy contained a blade intent. It slashed towards his head. Xiao Han was being reckless. His idea was very simple. His soul would rush into his head and collide with the divine soul that had seized his body. A suicidal attack. The most optimistic outcome of such a collision of souls was that Xiao Han's own soul and the divine soul that had seized his body would perish together and dissipate. Then Xiao Han's body would lose its soul, which was equivalent to being crippled, brain dead. However, it was too difficult to perish together with the divine soul that had seized his body. That was the soul of a god. But Xiao Han had no other choice. Using spiritual energy to collide with it was already the only way to resist. Resist. He had to resist. Even if he failed, he couldn't just sit and wait for death. Die. Under the powerful spirit of seeking death, Xiao Han's soul actually burned. A domineering blade intent, like a tide, violently slashed out from Xiao Han's soul. This blade intent, without the support of true energy, was extremely pure, almost as if it could destroy the mortal world and was flawless. It seemed to have touched the essence of the way of the blade. The blade intent actually improved in this state. A wisp of thought flashed through Xiao Han's soul. Before coming to the demon metropolis, Xiao Han had sealed his cultivation base of the human race. It was all sealed. Seriously. Xiao Han was a blade cultivator, and he had comprehended the 1-in-a-million blade intent. Xiao Han's blade intent was at the middle stage. However, there was still a distance from the great success stage of the blade intent. However, at this moment, in this desperate situation, Xiao Han had abandoned his physical body, leaving only his spiritual energy. In this situation, his spiritual energy condensed into the shape of a blade, with the mentality that he would die, with the goal of perishing together. It actually made Xiao Han have a vague inspiration of the great success stage of the blade intent. Humans, in a state of great fear and even great despair, could indeed burst out to the greatest degree of life potential. Oh, that wisp of divine thought. It was slightly stunned. Immediately after, with a cold gaze, it glanced at Xiao Han's spiritual energy that was rushing over. Buzz, Xiao Han's spiritual energy was actually as if it had fallen into a swamp, unable to advance an inch. This spiritual will is quite strong. That wisp of divine thought smiled slightly. Not bad, his comprehension of the blade is also extremely deep. The thickness of the soul is considered very strong in the ordinary plane, outstanding. For the cultivation of the human race, the soul is very important. The stronger the soul, the higher the talent of martial Tao, the higher the power of comprehension and memory. This kid's spiritual energy is different from ordinary people. It is very strong. If he is allowed to cultivate, one day in the future he might also become an immortal. Can't even perish together with me? Xiao Han's spiritual energy was tightly imprisoned, as if it had fallen into a swamp. He was completely in despair, and in the midst of despair, there was also an indescribable unwillingness. Could it be that I, Xiao Han, am reincarnated after experiencing all kinds of hardships? Starting from being a weak living target, I, Xiao Han, desire power, desire to become stronger? I have worked hard, experienced the tempering of mountains of corpses and seas of bones, experienced countless tragic battles. Could it be that in the end, everything is still in vain? Damn it. Astonishingly, in the state of great despair, Xiao Han's spiritual fluctuation suddenly expanded, and countless saber lights flew out like snowflakes. Every saber light seemed to contain a wisp of natal saber chi. Saber intent. Initial mastery of saber intent, able to transform the surrounding air into saber chi. With the speed of sound, saber intent could slash and crush all living beings at will. Middle stage of saber intent, not limited to objects. Grass, wood, bamboo, stone, air, water, everything in the world could be used as a saber. The speed of the saber surpassed the speed of sound. This realm was also known as bladeless. It was a realm where the absence of a blade triumphed over the presence of a blade. Large success in saber intent, a natal saber chi was born in his body. He could kill people with just a thought. He could lock souls from 1,000 miles away. He could kill people from 10,000 miles away. He could even shatter space. Saber intent entered godly mastery, his natal saber chi, mental energy, saber intent, battle will, and will were all brewed to the peak, cutting open the door to the saber realm that was close to nothingness, receiving the support of the ancient saber soul, and killing immortals and gods. But now, in his despair and unwillingness, Xiao Han had once again broken through his shackles. Within his soul, he had given birth to the life saber chi that could cut through gods and slay ghosts. His saber intent had reached greater mastery. Wung wung wung, the natal saber chi that was like snowflakes buzzed violently and accelerated. In the midst of the vibration, it suddenly disappeared as if it had teleported. It directly disappeared from the state of confinement. In the next moment, the dense natal saber chi cut through the void and appeared near Xiao Han's body. Like a tornado, it strangled Xiao Han's body. The speed was so fast that it was close to the speed of light. The vibration was so intense that even heaven and earth resonated. The lingering force of the saber chi cut through the third floor of the demon metropolis. Countless buildings exploded. They were turned into ashes. The airflow between heaven and earth fluctuated wildly. Where the saber chi vibrated, tornadoes appeared, piercing through the void and destroying all 6 paths. His saber intent has reached the greater mastery mentioned by the human swordsman. His natal saber chi was born, and its speed is close to the speed of light, instantly killing. Xiao Han's body suddenly moved a few times. Thousands of phantoms appeared, and dense spatial faults appeared. All the natal saber chi failed to slash through the air. However, the only remaining wisp of natal saber chi was a fish that escaped the net, and it immediately went for Xiao Han's head. Die. I'd rather destroy my own body than let an evil creature like you have your way. Trash. Go to hell. I'd rather die than live in dishonor. Xiao Han's soul became excited. He controlled the wisp of natal saber chi and directly attacked his head. Once his head exploded, everything would be over. To be continued. Chapter 372. The saber intent of the Great Success stage was very, very powerful. It was definitely not something that the saber intent of the middle stage could compare to. It could be said that it could kill anyone who stood in its way. The saber intent of the Great Success stage was not created by activating true chi, but the saber chi of life. It was controlled by the soul and could be used at will. With a thought, the saber chi could kill whoever it wanted. Moreover, the saber chi created by the saber intent of the Great Success stage was extremely fast, infinitely close to the speed of light. In the world of martial arts, only speed was unbeatable. Even the softest water flow could cut steel at an extremely fast speed, let alone the mysterious saber chi of life. It was infinitely close to the speed of light, which was countless times faster than the speed of sound. The saber chi could almost teleport and cut through everything. It was an invincible ultimate move. Xiao Han was confident that as long as this strand of natal saber chi struck his head, it would definitely be able to pierce through his head. He could perish together with that evil and powerful creature that had possessed him. However, oh? The divine soul let out a short exclamation. Then it controlled Xiao Han's head to move slightly at an incredible speed and at an incredible angle. Poof! A small tuft of hair was cut off by the saber intent of life. This tuft of blood-red hair scattered into dozens of strands, swirling like willow catkins, and fell to the ground. He actually dodged it. Xiao Han's soul fluctuated and let out a sigh of disbelief, deep helplessness and deep regret. However, Xiao Han had just comprehended the saber chi of life and suddenly released it. Until now, the small amount of saber chi had been used up. But it had been used up. He had to make up for it. It would probably take 10 days to half a month. At this moment, boom, 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 boom. Dozens of strands of red hair fell to the ground. The power was as if the sky was collapsing and the earth was collapsing. The foundation of the third floor of the monster metropolis was completely smashed. Even the crust of this area was cracked. A terrifying earthquake suddenly spread out with this area as the core. The area within a radius of 10,000 miles was completely shattered into ruins. Countless Demon Emperor-level creatures were shattered into pieces for no reason. Seeing this, Xiaohan was shocked once again. It was simply indescribable. Just a few dozen strands of hair were as heavy as mountains. When they smashed down, it was like a meteor crashing into the ground. The doomsday disaster. Too strong. He was ridiculously strong. My strength has recovered to less than 100,000th. After all, your body is still too weak to allow me to unleash too much power. Furthermore, I haven't mastered my heaven-defying cultivation technique. So, next time we meet, human young man, work hard. I hope your body will be stronger than it is now. Only then will I be able to unleash more power. I hope you won't disappoint me. The voice of the divine soul contained endless mockery and ridicule. Then, pooh, the aura of Xiaohan's body actually decreased by 1,000 miles. The invincible demon chi suddenly shrank, making a strange sound as if it was deflating air. The next moment, Xiaohan's spirit fluctuated and returned to the brain of his body. Bang! At the same time, Xiaohan's body seemed to have been squeezed dry. He lost all his strength and fell to the ground. I seem to be back. After a moment of absent-mindedness, Xiaohan found that his soul had returned to his body. He had regained control over his body. That guy, left on his own. Xiaohan's heart was filled with mixed feelings. He didn't know what to feel at the moment. However, the subtle feeling of surviving a disaster and regaining what was lost still lingered in his heart. But soon Xiaohan's mind tensed up again. He felt a chill on his spine. My body was tampered with by that guy. It seems to have been modified. Xiaohan was frightened. He directly looked inside. After a few breaths, That's strange. My spirit fluctuated just now. He clearly saw that my body was modified by the extremely powerful demon chi. My body was filled with small worlds, and there were even countless demon clan talismans and chains of order. Almost every drop of my blood was a world of its own. But now, all the strange phenomena disappeared. My body is still the same as before. However, my vitality is extremely weak, as if I had just recovered from a serious illness, or like a lamp that has run out of oil. Xiaohan carefully looked inside and found that his current body was completely different from the god spirit body that had just been possessed. His current body was still the same. There was no change. Moreover, before he came to the demon metropolis, the precious medicine that the master of the demon night tower gave Xiaohan had lost its efficacy. That precious medicine had given rise to boundless resentment and demonic chi inside of Xiaohan. It had even given birth to the demon realm, the kingdom of the demon realm. Because of that, Xiaohan had been able to perfectly disguise himself as a member of the demon realm, and then sneak into the demon capital to assassinate Yen Lang. But now, after the possession just now, the efficacy of the precious medicine was completely annihilated. Xiaohan regained the vitality of the human race. If those monster race sovereigns or even some ordinary monster emperors saw Xiaohan now, they would definitely recognize that Xiaohan was a human at first glance. Then he looked at Zhuobing Emperor's palm. 600,000 demon veins. 13 demon emperor crystals. The capacity of each demon vein was 150 times that of an ordinary demon emperor. Nothing changed. Nothing had changed. I'm still me. An inexplicable ecstasy surged in him. However, in the blink of an eye, Xiaohan's heart started to tremble again. He carefully sent his mental fluctuations into the position of his heart. There were no changes in other parts of his body. All the strange phenomena had disappeared. Even Zhuobing Emperor's palm was the same as usual. Even the demon chi in his body that was used to disguise himself had disappeared. But as for his heart and the demon egg in his heart, Xiaohan did not dare to imagine. Finally, Xiaohan still looked at his heart. He looked inside. There were countless seals on the demon egg. It was already in disarray, and it was a scene of desolation and devastation. There were thousands of cracks on the eggshell, and terrifying demon chi seeped out from them. Moreover, there was an inexplicable throbbing inside the demon egg. Xiaohan could deeply sense that within the demon egg, there was a fearsome life being nurtured without restraint. The fluctuations of life within this demon egg were ridiculously strong. It was extremely evil, tyrannical, and absolutely invincible. It was countless times stronger than the demon hero pagoda master or wood for an emperor. 10,000 times? 100,000 times? 1,000,000 times? 10 million times? Such a difference. There was no way to describe it with numbers. It was like the difference between heaven and earth. It was like comparing an ant to a dragon. Xiao Han had a premonition. Once the life inside the demon egg broke out of its cocoon, it would bring an apocalyptic disaster that would destroy all worlds. Moreover, there were too many cracks on the eggshell, and demon qi leaked out at every moment. This was a terrible situation. Even if Xiao Han returned to the human world, ordinary people who had never cultivated martial arts would be able to feel the demon qi emanating from Xiao Han's body. Martial artists who had cultivated true qi could even sense the demon clan's secret treasure inside Xiao Han's body. The life inside the eggshell. I know. It must be the terrifying god that tried to possess me just now. It could kill a demon emperor with a wave of its hand and destroy this plane with a single thought. If that god really wanted to possess me, it would have succeeded. Even if I wanted to die together with it, it would be impossible, but it gave up on possessing me at the critical moment. It seems to have returned to the demon egg. It gave up on possessing me. No. It thinks that my body isn't strong enough for it to possess me perfectly, and it seems to be cultivating some secret technique and hasn't succeeded yet, so it's not in a hurry to possess me. Damn it. Am I going to be possessed again in the end? Could it be that my future cultivation is just to provide a more perfect home for it? Xiao Han's heart was cold. He felt a sense of doom, a feeling that he couldn't escape. A deep sense of despair gripped Xiao Han. He was disheartened. Could it be that from now on everything that I, Xiao Han, have done is to help the wicked? It's all just a wedding dress for that evil and powerful god? I can't escape death in the end? When my body becomes stronger and stronger, or when that god succeeds in cultivating the heaven-defying technique, it will possess me again, erase my soul and take over my body. Damn it. Xiao Han's eyes widened, and the corners of his eyes were about to tear. Be manipulated by others? No. If I self-destruct, then what? A thought that was close to abandoning himself to despair suddenly rose up in his mind. That god is too powerful. It is definitely more powerful than the legendary immortals. Just now, that high-quality demonic qi temporarily transformed my body. I could see that even a single drop of blood in my body was like colored glass, sparkling and translucent. It contained the universe, the starry sky, time, planes, immortals, demons, hells, devil gods, all living beings, dust particles. I couldn't stop it from possessing me. No. How can I, Xiao Han, be a fool who will do anything for others? Instead of this, why not? Xiao Han's heart was completely cold. Self-destruction. However, just as this thought appeared in his mind, deep in Xiao Han's heart, there was a surge of unwillingness. Self-destruction? Everything will vanish like smoke. I, Xiao Han, have finally been reborn into this world, finally grasped a little bit of power, finally obtained precious dignity. But now I have to self-destruction? No. Gone. Excited. Xiao. Suddenly the life-saber qi in Xiao Han's soul flashed, killing all the negative emotions that had arisen in Xiao Han's heart. No matter what, if it wants to possess me again, it won't be a matter of a day or two. I still have time. Yes, I still have time, I still have a chance of survival. At this moment, all of a sudden, Xiao Han discovered that the seals on the surface of the eggshell, which had been shattered into pieces, were now shining brightly. The numerous seals were repairing themselves. And, a round golden ball finally formed in Xiao Han's heart. Furthermore, with the golden orb as the center, ancient and mysterious formations were being set up. Puff, puff, puff. 1 array formation, 2 array formations, 3 array formations. A total of 4,309 formations were generated. It was the 10,000 Immortals formation. Xiao Han knew about this 10,000 Immortals formation. Only those who had cultivated their true qi to the 8th level of true qi, the talisman formation realm, were qualified to cultivate it. Originally, Xiao Han should not have been able to cultivate this technique at the moment. However, after Xiao Han refined the round golden stone taken from Yan Lang's body, it automatically set up 4,309 formations. This round golden stone contained some of the source energy needed to set up the 10,000 Immortals formation. It was a heaven-defying treasure that ensured that Yan Lang could survive in the demon metropolis for tens of thousands of years without being killed. However, this treasure was incomplete, and could not be used to set up 10,000 spirit formations. Now, after Xiao Han refined this treasure, the 4,309 formations did not spread out. Instead, they were set up around Xiao Han's body and wrapped around Xiao Han's heart. As a result, at least 70% of the demonic qi leaking out from the broken eggshell was blocked by the formations. That's good news. Inside of the demon egg is the invincible evil creature. The seal on the surface of the egg has already shattered, and its sealing power is almost completely drained away. Originally, I was at my wit's end, but at the critical moment, this treasure set up 4,309 spell formations to block off more than half of the demonic chi leaking out of the demon egg. I wonder if these formations can stop the creature inside the demon egg from maturing and breaking out of its shell in the future. I have to reach the talisman formation realm as soon as possible so that I can perfectly set up 10,000 formations in this 10,000 Immortals formation. That way I'll be able to fight against the demon egg. Finally, Xiaohan found a hint of confidence to survive. With a thought, he used the spirit turtle true chi to wrap around the egg. With the 4,309 formations, the demonic chi leaking out from the demon egg was blocked by 80%, maybe even 90%. Basically, unless it's an ancient powerhouse, they won't be able to see through the demonic chi in my body. I'll return to the human world first. Xiaohan took a deep breath and stood up, trembling. Being possessed just now has caused my life force to wither and wither. It's as if I've just recovered from a long illness. I can't stay here for long. Xiaohan looked around and saw that the Woodfern Great Emperor and the other Great Emperors had already slipped away. However, with Xiaohan's current state, he would not be able to stop them if the Woodfern Great Emperor and the others returned. Let's leave the demon metropolis first. Xiaohan raised his left arm. Xiaohan injected all his demonic chi into the North Mystic Demon Emperor crystal. It was like an illusion. Xiaohan's body turned into a series of afterimages as he used greater teleportation. He was heading towards the Yaoxia region of the human race. To be continued. Chapter 373. This trip to the demon metropolis was simply thrilling to the core for Xiaohan. Indeed, Xiaohan had several fortuitous encounters in the demon metropolis. The demon emperor palm on his left arm had awakened 600,000 demon veins and completed the ultimate mutation. The capacity of each demon vein was 150 times that of an ordinary demon emperor. This allowed Xiaohan to casually use the demon emperor palm on his left arm to unleash the power of 9 billion cauldrons. This mighty power was enough to break through the space barrier, crush the continental plate and suppress the ages. With this kind of power, if it were to return to the human world, it would definitely shock countless people and shock the world. Moreover, there were 13 demon emperor crystals embedded in the left arm of the demon emperor palm. Moreover, Xiaohan had successfully imprisoned the greatest alchemist in the history of the human race, Yanlang. He had also comprehended the great accomplishment saber intent that could only be encountered by chance. It could be said that the current Xiaohan had changed greatly from when he first came to the demon metropolis. He was like a completely different person. However, Xiaohan on the other hand had been possessed. He was possessed by a mysterious almighty. This matter was like a nightmare that haunted Xiaohan, and he could not get rid of it. Bone maggots. However, Xiaohan definitely couldn't solve this matter properly in the demon metropolis. He could only return to the human world first and see if he could find a good way to resolve the calamity. Swoosh, an illusory movement like the great spatial shift, caused Xiaohan to flash in the direction of the human race's Yaoxia domain. I should have directly flashed out of the demon metropolis. Xiaohan thought in a split second. I reckon that I can reach the human race's Yaoxia fortress after using the illusory movement a few times in a row. Now the strong demonic aura in my body that was disguised as a demon has dissipated, and the demon egg in my heart. The monstrous and violent peerless demonic aura that it emitted has also been shielded by the 10,000 Immortals formation and the spirit turtle true chi. I think the human demon who guards the fortress won't see anything wrong, right? It will probably let me pass through the fortress smoothly. Phew, Xiaohan let out a long breath. No. I'm no longer the silver-masked demon emperor. I'm Xiaohan, demon hero Xiaohan. After leaving the demon metropolis, Xiaohan also felt a sense of relief. Moreover, he was eager to return. In the next instant, Xiaohan's shadow image disappeared without a trace. His true body stabilized, his feet firmly planted on the ground. First, Xiaohan smelled the pleasant fragrance of mountain grass and flowers, heard the gurgling sound of a flowing stream, and even heard the cheerful chirping of birds. It's the air of the human world. Xiaohan was very excited. After a few breaths, the scene in front of him became clear. Xiaohan raised his eyes to look and then, his whole body became a little sluggish. What's going on? Xiaohan's feet did not move. They saw. This was a secluded valley with a clear stream flowing through it. Tall bamboos and some evergreen trees were planted in the valley in picturesque disorder. In the valley there were a few huts built with tender bamboo and straw. The house was surrounded by a bamboo fence, and some chickens and ducks were eating. Colorful magpies and orioles, singing merrily on the treetops. The vegetation in the valley was abundant, and a thin layer of green clouds lingered, making the whole valley glow with a kind of flowing color. Every grass and every tree gave people a feeling that they were carved out of jade. The mist surged, and the immortal charm was faintly discernible. A kind of small bridge, flowing water, clear stream accompanied by ancient vines, the quiet and serene atmosphere immediately enveloped Xiaohan. Everything. It was very much like the Shangri-La in the book of poems and paintings. The farmyard, giggle, giggle, quack, quack, the chickens and ducks cried in harmony. No, no way. Xiaohan was stunned. It should be known that Xiaohan exerted all his strength, and the movement was like an illusion, flashing in the direction of the demon hero region. This movement was like an illusion, although it was similar to the movement technique of teleportation. At the cost of draining all the demon power of the demon emperor's palm in his left arm, he could teleport more than 1,000,000 kilometers at one time. But the direction of the teleportation was controlled by Xiaohan's consciousness, and there would be no mistake. There could not be the slightest deviation. It was about 10 million kilometers from the demon metropolis to the demon hero fortress of the human clan. There could not be such a quiet and comfortable valley in the middle. There could not be any green mountains and clear water, let alone a small farmyard. The road between the demon metropolis and the demon hero fortress of the human clan was desolate. Desolate. Gloomy. Jagged bones. Gloomy. Like hell. Not to mention ordinary humans, even the experts among the demon heroes of the human clan would absolutely not dare to build a hut and live a secluded life on this road. If this place is only 1,000,000 kilometers away from the demon metropolis, then this lively valley and this small farmyard should never appear. Could it be that there was a deviation when my movement was like an illusion, and it sent me in a completely different direction from the demon hero region? However, the possibility of this happening is extremely small. Waves of doubts rose in Xiaohan's heart. Suddenly, Xiaohan glanced out of the corner of his eyes. There was a middle-aged man sitting quietly at the bank of the jade water stream. He was fishing with a fishing rod in his hand. This middle-aged man was wearing a coarse green robe, and there were a few patches on his clothes showing a bit of shabbiness, but his clothes were clean. Beside the middle-aged man in green, there was a child about 6 or 7 years old, also wearing a simple coarse linen robe. His skin was snow-white and delicate, and his black and white eyes flashed with an innocent expression. "Ah, Uncle, the fish has taken the bait. The fish has taken the bait." The boy suddenly cried out with joy, and his expression was extremely excited. Then he gently raised his hand and a fat fish was pulled up. "What a big one. I'm afraid it's 4 or 5 Gene." He praised and hurriedly threw the fish into the basket beside him. "Good. Uncle, today we have fish soup to drink again. Uncle, you are really good at fishing." The boy clapped his hands and cheered. "It can't be right?" Xiaohan was confused, shocked, and astonished. "I used illusory movement and flashed out of the demon metropolis. When I return to the Yaoxia region, the place where I am now should be a desolate place, belonging to the border between the human territory and the demon territory. There should be no grass growing there. Life should be withering, but I inexplicably came to this valley with mountain flowers and grass. And what's even more strange is that there are actually people living here." Huh? Xiaohan's mind was tense, and his eyes looked at the middle-aged man who was fishing and the boy, and he thought to himself, "Could it be? This old and young pair, are they demons? Or are they some hidden experts of the human race? Even I lost my way and came here. Is it because of these two people? But it should be impossible. I squeezed out all my demon power and used illusory movement in an instant. Unless it's those demon emperors or the top giants of the human race, it's impossible to change the direction of my teleportation." Yes, someone who could directly change the trajectory of Xiaohan's illusory movement was definitely a super expert. Xiaohan walked towards the stream cautiously, and he looked at the old and young pair. He thought to himself. Xiaohan's true qi surged, and he quietly took out a large number of heavenly desolate demon fruits from his storage ring, and fused them into his left demon emperor palm to replenish his lost demon power. It's nothing but death. This young master has even experienced something as terrifying as possession. If someone or a demon wants to play tricks on me, I'll be more than happy to entertain them. But they can't scare me. Xiaohan sneered in his mind. However, when Xiao Han took dozens of steps forward, he was shocked again. First of all, Xiao Han was sure that the old and young pair were definitely not demons. When facing them, the demon egg in his heart, there was not even the slightest fluctuation. Moreover, when Xiao Han opened the demon eye between his eyebrows, he could not see any trace of them being demons. No matter how perfect the demon disguise was, it could not hide from the demon egg in the demon eye. Humans? Xiao Han was slightly stunned. That's right, they're two humans. And there's not even the slightest bit of true chi fluctuation. Not only is there no true chi fluctuation, but their auras are also very ordinary. Strange. The old and young pair were actually two ordinary people who had never cultivated martial arts. Xiao Han was even more surprised. He stopped in his tracks and observed them carefully, making sure that he was not mistaken. The old and young pair's essence, chi, vitality, skin, bones, were all the state of ordinary people. They couldn't be any more ordinary. It should be known that for warriors who had cultivated chi, even if their cultivation was much higher than Xiao Han's, even if Xiao Han could not see through their true realm, Xiao Han would definitely be able to judge whether they had cultivated martial arts or not. Not to mention anything else, those who had cultivated martial arts were definitely different from ordinary people in terms of spirit and aura, a look and a hint of temperament inadvertently revealed. At this moment, the green-robed middle-aged man who was fishing by the stream seemed to have finally noticed Xiao Han. He was slightly stunned and he turned back to look at Xiao Han. He looked to be about 40 or 50 years old and his face was thin. His eyes showed the vicissitudes of life, and there were crow's feet at the corners of his eyes. Ordinary people. Too ordinary. Because he had never cultivated martial arts, the middle-aged man's skin was not as firm as those of physical body realm martial artists. Because of his age, his skin had also gradually become loose. Little brother, where did you come from? The middle-aged man asked, puzzled. Although his voice was full and loud, it lacked chi and it seemed that his internal organs were weak. Uncle, this little brother. The child also turned around, and his eyes widened as he looked at Xiao Han. Little guy, don't make trouble. The middle-aged man reprimanded in a low voice, and then he stuck the fishing rod into the stream, stood up and walked toward Xiao Han. Little brother, how did you find this place? This is really strange. I have lived here in seclusion for more than 10 years, and no one has ever set foot here. In Xiao Han's heart, he was sure that this old and young pair were ordinary people without a doubt. His tense mind also relaxed, and he thought that there might really be a problem when he was using illusory movement just now, and thus he mistakenly entered this paradise. Big brother, you don't have to be so polite. This little brother came here by chance. The environment here is quiet, big brother really knows how to enjoy life. Tiske, this atmosphere of standing aloof from worldly affairs is really fascinating. Xiao Han said with a smile. It had been a long time since he had seen a normal human, and Xiao Han was full of good feelings towards this old and young pair. Standing aloof from worldly affairs, yes. To be the companion of the flowing water, to be friends with the swimming fishes, to admire the green trees, mountain flowers and quiet grasses, what more can one ask for in life? The middle-aged man seemed to be a bit proud, and he could not help but shake his head. Seeing this, Xiao Han could not help but laugh. It seemed that this person was perhaps a scholar who lived in seclusion due to his lack of ambition in life, and thus lived in seclusion until his old age in the forest or something like that. With the corner of his eyes, Xiao Han saw that behind the few thatched cottages, there was also a dozen mu of farmland. Spinach, rice, corn and everything that one could think of could be found there. Little brother, a chance encounter is not as good as an invitation. Since you have already come to my house, then please stay for a few days before leaving. The middle-aged man said enthusiastically. His words were very sincere and simple. Little brother, stay for a few days before leaving. Can you play with me? That little boy also ran over, bouncing and skipping. Xiao Han was slightly stunned. Then he shook his head bitterly. It should be known that Xiao Han was currently restless because of that mysterious demon egg. He definitely did not have the mood to stay in this farmhouse. He wished that he could grow a pair of wings and quickly return to the chivalrous pagoda. He wanted to see if he could use the vast amount of knowledge that the human clan's chivalrous pagoda had inherited over countless years to find a way to restrain that demon egg. Moreover, Xiao Han also wanted to quickly cultivate to the talisman formation realm, and then set up a perfect 10,000 immortal formation to protect his heart. Thank you for your kindness, big brother. Xiao Han smiled and touched the little boy's head. but I have important matters to attend to, so I will not disturb you. Little brother, since you are already here, stay for a few days. The middle-aged man persuaded bitterly. Wouldn't it be good to chat with Big Brother? In this secular world there are so many troubles. So many people are blinded by greed and so many people put away their bows when they are done. It is better here, peaceful and worry-free. Come, little brother, today you can taste the authentic farmhouse dishes. This? Big brother, I really appreciate your kindness. Xiaohan modestly declined again and again. Then he took a step to the side and nodded slightly. Big brother, little friend, I will leave now. After saying that, Xiaohan turned around and walked out of the valley. He thought, I will use illusory movement again. If I use it a few times, I should be able to return to the chivalrous region. At this moment, Big Uncle, little brother is leaving. Big Uncle, will you continue to tell me the story of egg today? Yesterday you said that there was a big demon living in that egg. Big Uncle, I want to hear it again today. The little boy said crisply. Ha, good, today I will continue to tell you, the story about egg. The middle-aged man also laughed. Hearing that, Xiaohan's body shook violently. It was simply thrilling. He could not control himself at all. About the story about the egg? To be continued? High-speed first release of the latest chapter of The Demon God. This chapter is chapter 373, The Story About the Egg. 37-178. Address. Chapter 374. The Story About the Egg? Inside the egg there was a very powerful monster? Xiaohan was scared out of his wits when he heard the conversation between the old man and the young man. All the blood in his body froze. Clay sculpture. He stood there in a daze. He was completely petrified. There was a mysterious demon egg in Xiaohan's heart. Only Xiaohan himself knew about it, apart from the supreme evil creature that was being bred in the egg. Even the powerful Wuxia Tower Master and the Woodfern Great Emperor didn't know that there was a demon egg in Xiaohan's heart. They could only see that Xiaohan's body contained a powerful demonic aura. That was all. I used illusory movement to enter the Wuxia domain and return to the human world. I can't be wrong. But it just so happened that we ended up in this farmer's courtyard. This is a first-class miracle, and these two people just had to keep talking about eggs. Xiaohan was shocked to the core. They're not ordinary people. Xiaohan have misjudged them. They can't be ordinary people. Things can't be so clever. Xiaohan also understood that the creature being bred in the demon egg was absolutely invincible. No one in the world could match it. It would finally occupy Xiaohan's body one day and try to possess him again. It would completely erase Xiaohan's soul. It would turn Xiaohan into ashes, beyond redemption, and no longer exist in this world. It was almost impossible to escape from this disaster. But Xiaohan would not sit and wait for death. He would fight for the slightest chance to overcome this disaster with his life. And now, the conversation between the old man and the young man showed that they knew the origin of the demon egg. They had deliberately waited for Xiaohan here. Could it be? Were they going to enlighten it? Point out the right path? For a moment, Xiaohan's head was burning, and his heart was pounding wildly. He suddenly turned around, his legs trembling. Big brother. No, senior, I was impolite just now. Please forgive me, senior, Xiaohan said respectfully. It should be known that the old man and the young man. The fact that they were capable of reversing Xiaohan's movements meant that they were at least as strong as the Woodfern Emperor and the Demon's Lair Pagoda. Therefore, it was reasonable for Xiaohan to respectfully address him as senior. Seeing Xiaohan turn around and speak respectfully, the green-clothed middle-aged man was startled. He seemed to be very confused. Little brother, you are? Senior. Junior has misjudged you. Xiaohan blushed with shame. Senior, please don't blame me. Little brother, you're really... Where did this come from? What mistake? You've really confused me. The green-clothed middle-aged man's face was full of confusion, but he still acted like it. Uncle, what is this little brother saying? Little Chin doesn't understand. The little boy was also blinking his eyes in confusion. Judging from their appearances, Xiaohan's heart skipped a beat. It was said that experts were unworldly and unconventional. Sometimes they would even feign ignorance. From the looks of it, these two were unwilling to meet him in person. In that case, Xiaohan took a deep breath and decided to throw caution to the wind. He pulled himself together and walked back in a few steps, speaking in a well-behaved manner. Senior, it's nothing. This junior would also like to hear the story about the egg. Ha ha ha. Little brother, do you want to hear the story? Ah, that's good, that's good. I've always lived in seclusion and rarely interacted with others. I only tell stories to little Chin. Since you want to hear it, I'm more than happy to hear it. The green-clothed middle-aged man chuckled. The little boy was also clapping his hands, his face full of joy. Xiao Han didn't say anything else after this. Since these two were willing to tell him the story about the egg, he would open his ears and listen. How about this, little brother? Let's eat first and then tell the story. What do you think? The green-clothed middle-aged man invited warmly. Xiao Han naturally didn't dare disobey. Yes, senior. Haha, there's no need to call me senior. If little brother thinks highly of me, you can call me big brother. Calling me senior is too much. The green-clothed middle-aged man was extremely polite. Xiao Han thought that this eccentric person's temper was very strange. However, he didn't argue and said carefully, "Yes, big brother." That's right. The green-clothed middle-aged man patted Xiao Han's shoulder. Little brother, we're eating fish today. Can you help me remove the scales? Remove the scales? No problem. Xiao Han quickly said. So, Xiao Han sat by the stream and took out a few fat fish from the basket. He asked the green-clothed middle-aged man for a short knife and seriously began to clean them. He removed the scales, removed the fish's organs, and washed them. Soon lunch was ready. It was a banquet of wild vegetables. However, the green-clothed middle-aged man treated Xiao Han quite well. He specially killed a chicken and a duck and treated Xiao Han with great hospitality. During the meal there was nothing unusual. Xiao Han simply let go and ate to his heart's content. It had to be said that this middle-aged man in green had superb culinary skills. He was only cooking ordinary wild vegetables, farmhouse chicken, duck and fish, but he was cooking them so well that Xiao Han almost swallowed his own tongue as he cheered. After the meal, the child obediently cleaned up the dishes. Then he brewed 2 cups of tea and served them. The 3 of them sat around a stone table in the farmhouse's courtyard. Xiao Han looked at the green-clothed middle-aged man eagerly. Ha! The green-clothed middle-aged man smiled. Suddenly his gaze became a little playful. He took a sip of tea and smiled. Little brother, the story of this egg is just a story. Do you understand? Xiao Han was stunned. He didn't understand the green-clothed middle-aged man's true intentions. Big brother, what does this mean? Suddenly, the green-clothed middle-aged man raised his head and looked at the blue sky. Then he lowered his voice and said to Xiao Han, "Little brother, what your big brother means is, this story is made up by your big brother. Just listen to it and don't take it seriously. And don't ever tell this story to anyone else. Do you understand?" The green-clothed middle-aged man's voice seemed to become extremely serious. For a moment, Xiao Han's mind, all kinds of thoughts, came one after another. These two. There was no doubt that they were experts and eccentric people. But they always pretended to be ignorant. Now that they wanted to tell the story of the egg, they repeatedly warned me that it was just a fictional story? Could it be that they also had some hidden troubles? This was originally a big secret. They had some scruples and didn't dare to say it out loud. So, they beat around the bush and used the method of a story to enlighten me? Xiao Han's thoughts were exquisite. With such thoughts in mind, he solemnly nodded his head and said, "Big brother, little brother understands. This is just a story, there's no hidden meaning." Yes. I finished listening to this story. And I forgot about it. Big brother, please tell me this purely fictional story. Just treat it as a fun time after dinner. Ha 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 ha. The green-clothed middle-aged man nodded and laughed. Good little brother, it's good that you understand. Big uncle, quickly tell me the story. The child took out something similar to a goose egg from somewhere and put it on the stone table. Big uncle, quickly tell me. Okay. Big uncle will tell me now. The green-clothed middle-aged man used his hand to touch the child's little head. Then he picked up the egg on the stone table and looked at Xiao Han. Little brother, once upon a time there was a group of monsters. A monster that could eat people. The leader of this monster was very powerful. Ordinary hunters not only couldn't control it, but would also be killed by it. Yes. Big brother, this monster seems to be very powerful. Xiao Han's mind was completely attracted by this story. However, the number of monsters was much less than the hunters. The hunters often joined forces to kill this group of monsters. The green-clothed middle-aged man's eyes were also blurred. He seemed to have fallen into a long and tedious memory. He said slowly, "The battle between the monsters and the hunters year after year, day after day. I don't know how many years it has been fighting. Many monsters died and many hunters also died. Sigh, it was very tragic. The casualties on both sides were too heavy, so the hunters swore that they would slaughter all the monsters. The monsters on the other side were not to be trifled with. The monsters on the other side were not to be trifled with. The monsters also wanted to eat all the hunters, especially the leader of the monsters. Not only was he very powerful, but he was also very cunning. Is he talking about the battle between the human race's monsters and the demon race? Xiao Han's heart moved, but his expression did not change. He said cautiously, "Big brother, what happened after that?" Suddenly, the green-clothed middle-aged man's muscles twitched slightly. He seemed to recall something extremely terrible. He weighed the goose egg in his hand a few times. After that, something happened. Look at this egg. Xiao Han stared at the goose egg. This egg in the story is not a goose egg, chicken egg, or duck egg. This is the egg of the strongest monster in the universe. This monster is also very powerful. It is not weaker than the leader of the monsters. Little brother, let me tell you, this monster can swallow the sun in one breath. Do you think it's powerful? Swallow the sun. Xiao Han's heart skipped a beat. That's really powerful. Yes, it's powerful. However, after the monster laid this egg, it was exhausted. Its soul withered and died. The green-clothed middle-aged man looked far away, as if there was a distant world there. The monster died, but the leader of the monsters is very powerful. He found this egg. Then, the leader of the monsters wanted to use this egg to make himself stronger. What do you think happened to it? What happened? Xiao Han blurted out. This monster went into that egg. It had abandoned its own body. But don't think that the leader of the monsters is a fool. It abandoned its body and used its soul and spirit to incubate the egg. Little brother, guess what kind of strange thing it is when the egg hatches? The green-clothed middle-aged man's voice trembled. The strongest monster in the universe and the leader of the monsters. Once it hatches, it will be the strongest and most terrifying existence. All the hunters cannot defeat such a monster. Xiao Han said with a trembling voice. Yes, this is a parasite. The azure-clothed middle-aged man took a sip of tea. Xiao Han noticed that his hands were trembling slightly. If this monster leader successfully hatches an egg, then it will be terrible. In this world, all the hunters as well as the hunters' families and relatives will all die. This world will be occupied by the monsters. After pausing for a moment, the green-clothed middle-aged man took a deep breath. Later on, a hunter discovered the monster leader's terrifying plan. Then the hunter team and the monsters had a fierce and cruel battle. It was a bloodbath. Blood was everywhere and there was killing everywhere. Who knows how many hunters died in that battle and who knows how many monsters died. Even the heavens cried and it rained cats and dogs for a few months. In the end, the egg was snatched by the hunters. However, the hunters did not have the ability to destroy the egg. The hunters held a meeting. In the end, a large group of hunters used their own power to seal the egg. They froze the life of the egg so that the leader of the monsters inside could not successfully break out of the egg. Hearing this, Xiao Han seemed to understand something. His heart was completely grasped. Big brother, then. What happened after that? After that, more monsters came to snatch the egg. The two sides fought and fought until the sky was dark. The green-clothed middle-aged man shook his head. In the end, the egg was left behind. Left behind? Left behind? Where did it go? Xiao Han's mouth was dry. It was left behind in another world. Suddenly, the green-clothed middle-aged man looked deeply into Xiao Han's eyes. After this egg was left behind in another world, it first went into the body of a little monster. This little monster was, of course, muddle-headed. It only felt that it was getting stronger day by day. However, good times did not last long. This little monster was killed by a hunter in that world. After the little monster died, the egg secretly went into the heart of a young boy who was beside the hunter. This? Xiao Han's blood froze. He was so fascinated that he could not control himself. His voice was choked with sobs. Yes. The little monster was killed by the hunter. Then a young boy who was watching the show with the hunter felt an inexplicable pain in his heart. I see. From then on, that egg was lodged in that young boy's heart. The green-clothed middle-aged man shook his head slightly. The story is over. Little brother, it's fine if you just listen to it. This is just a story. Shockingly, Xiao Han stood up immediately. His body was trembling. Big brother, that young man is innocent. That egg somehow wormed its way into his heart. In the beginning, nothing happened between the young man and the egg. However, gradually the seals on the eggshell began to loosen, and the life force of the egg began to circulate again. One day the monster head in the egg will hatch. It will kill the young man and it will definitely bring about an apocalyptic disaster. Big brother, how do you think the young man should deal with it? Please tell me. To be continued. Chapter 375. The azure-robed middle-aged man finished telling Xiao Han the story of the egg. Hearing this, Xiao Han felt like he had been struck by lightning. His soul trembled. He couldn't do it himself. It was obvious that Xiao Han was an important part of this story. The azure-robed middle-aged man had already pointed it out. In this story, the egg eventually burrowed into the heart of a young man who was watching the fun. The creature in the egg was still growing. Sooner or later, it would hatch into an invincible monster that could dominate the universe. And this young man watching the show was naturally Xiao Han. Unexpectedly, this green-clothed middle-aged man was very clear about Xiao Han's situation. As clear as a candle flame. Monster leader? Could it be that the head of the demons is... Xiao Han's mind was in a mess. Demon? Demon god? The faith of countless demons and countless planes? In other words, an existence as powerful as the demon god had abandoned its physical body and sent its soul into the egg of the strongest monster in the universe. The demon immortal's soul would fuse with the monster egg, and the resulting entity would be invincible. Devouring the stars, covering the sky with one hand, slaughtering immortals like slaughtering chickens and dogs. Xiao Han couldn't help but shiver. Trembling with fear. Suddenly an idea flashed through Xiao Han's mind. I've only recovered less than 100,000th of my strength. I've been put in a very difficult situation by you. After all, your body is still too weak to allow me to unleash too much of my strength. Furthermore, I haven't mastered my heaven-defying cultivation technique yet. Therefore, next time we meet, young man of the human race, work hard. Next time your body, it could be stronger than it was now. Only in this way will this lord be able to display even greater strength. I hope you won't disappoint this lord. These were the words of the evil creature that was trying to possess Xiao Han. If Xiao Han's guess was correct, this extremely powerful evil creature should be the demon god. It was the leader of the demon race, who had abandoned his physical body and integrated his soul into the egg of the cosmic behemoth. It still hasn't mastered its heaven-defying cultivation method? Xiao Han couldn't help but nod. I got it. The demon god's soul had yet to merge with the egg of the cosmic behemoth. A perfect fusion. It's not time to hatch yet. Right now, my body is like the demon god's dwelling. When its soul perfectly fused with the giant beast egg and hatched, it would be able to seize my body and appear in the form of a giant beast to conquer the world. In any case, no matter what, as long as the demon god succeeds, I will definitely die. Big brother, please give that young man a way out. Xiao Han said with a trembling voice. The green-robed middle-aged man nodded. He couldn't help but look up at the blue sky and fell silent. Big brother, the situation is extremely perilous. Now that things had come to this, Xiao Han no longer hid anything and poured everything out to his heart's content. That monster leader hasn't been able to perfectly fuse with the Ultralisk's egg, but if it succeeds, then this world will be destroyed. No one in the universe could stop it. It would sweep through the universe and no one would be its match. Big brother, I am trying to save myself, but I am also trying to save the world. Don't let the egg hatch. Big uncle, what should we do now? The child also looked at the green-clothed middle-aged man in a daze. A dozen breaths later, the middle-aged man withdrew his gaze and looked at Xiao Han. The egg can't be destroyed. The egg contains the power to destroy the world. If we forcefully destroy the egg, the consequences will be unimaginable. I'm afraid that even the universe will be destroyed and return to chaos. And now, the seal on the surface of the egg is extremely weak, and the surface of the egg is riddled with holes. There are two ways to stop this catastrophe. Finally, the green-clothed middle-aged man's expression became very serious and stern. Big brother, what are the two ways? Xiao Han held his breath. First, have those highly skilled hunters find that youth, kill him and carefully extract the egg from his heart. Then place more seals on the eggshell to freeze the growth of the eggshell. Hide the egg, suppress it and prevent the demons from finding it. The azure-robed middle-aged man smiled. Xiao Han's heart went cold. Kill me? Cut open my heart? Then dig out the demon egg, place countless seals and control the incubation speed of the demon egg? Kill me? Xiao Han squinted his eyes slightly and looked at the green-clothed middle-aged man. This person's background is unknown, and his words are shocking. He knows the origin of the demon egg like the back of his hand. He might be a legendary immortal. Could it be that he came to find me, to kill me? Xiao Han tried his best to control his emotions. Big brother, what's the second way? The second way is... The green-clothed middle-aged man suddenly looked at Xiao Han with a playful expression. If that young man is able to defeat the evil creature in the egg, then all the problems will be easily solved. Defeat. Hearing this, Xiao Han's throat choked. The heavens have mercy on me. That's a demon god. An existence even more terrifying than the immortals. Who knows how many immortals it has killed? With a single thought, it can control the life and death of a plane. How to defeat it? It's completely unimaginable. Moreover, the demon egg had fused with Xiao Han's heart. In fact, it was already a part of Xiao Han's body. In other words, did Xiao Han have to fight with his own heart? Ha! The green-clothed middle-aged man smiled. The first way is fast, but it's not very appropriate. Little brother, think about it. Even if you kill that young man, dig out the egg from his heart and seal it again, it's hard to guarantee that the egg won't be lost again, right? Moreover, this egg is already half broken. It's no longer intact. Sealing it again is useless. It can only delay the incubation of the evil spirit in the egg, but it can't be sealed forever. 100,000 years, 1,000,000 years, 10 million years, in short, there will be a day when the evil spirit in the egg will be born. Sigh. The green-clothed middle-aged man sighed. Perhaps many hunters will choose to find this young man, kill him first and dig out the egg first. But this is only treating the symptoms, not the root cause. Little brother, your big brother thinks that instead of delaying a bit, it's better to let that young man fight with the evil spirit in the egg. It's better to let that young man fight the evil spirit in the egg. The azure-robed middle-aged man frowned slightly. Of course, the young man can defeat the evil spirit in the egg. The possibility is very small. But if he succeeds, it'll be over once and for all. Once and for all, little brother, don't you think so? Yes. Xiao Han was not an idiot. The seemingly casual conversation between the two of them was, in fact, related to Xiao Han's life and death. Life and death. His life was hanging by a thread. Obviously, if they chose the first way, then Xiao Han would die without a doubt. The hunters, that the green-clothed middle-aged man spoke of. They were probably powerful existences like immortals. If he was chased by a group of immortals, then it would be hard for Xiao Han not to die. Therefore, when the green-clothed middle-aged man mentioned the second way, to let Xiao Han defeat the evil spirit in the egg, Xiao Han almost did not think and nodded. Ha! The green-clothed middle-aged man looked at Xiao Han calmly. Little brother, do you also think the second way is more appropriate? It seems like we have the same idea. Ah! At this moment, suddenly, an even greater sense of helplessness drowned Xiao Han like a tide. Ha! Xiao Han laughed at himself and sat down dejectedly. Defeat the evil spirit in the egg. Yes, I do have strong confidence. I have experienced too many times to survive in the face of death. Fight after fight, counterattack after counterattack. My spirit has been sharpened to the extreme. I've never given up, not even when I faced the Hierophant Pagoda, not even when I faced the treacherous and well-protected Yen Lang, not even when I faced the strongest monster on this plane, Great Emperor Woodfern. But, to defeat the evil spirit in the egg. That was a demon god. That was a god. To defeat a god? In the demon metropolis, the demon god possessed Xiao Han for a short period of time. Because Xiao Han's physical body was not strong enough to bear all of the demon god's energy, the demon god could only use less than 100,000th of the demon god's energy after possessing Xiao Han. Even so, he was still able to squash a demon the arch to death like an ant. Xiao Han only realized how insignificant he was after witnessing that kind of almost invincible power. What's wrong, little brother? It seems like you are very disheartened? The green-clothed middle-aged man looked at Xiao Han. Xiao Han did not speak. Ha ha! Suddenly, the green-clothed middle-aged man laughed loudly and stared at Xiao Han. Little brother, let me ask you a question. Xiao Han raised his head slightly. Little brother, in the story, the demon egg eventually burrowed into the heart of a young man. Do you think that young man regretted it? The green-clothed middle-aged man asked seriously, emphasizing each word. If he had another chance, if that young man had a choice, do you think he would refuse the demon egg? This? Boom. Xiao Han's mind exploded. Regret? If he had another chance, would he still choose the demon egg? The green-clothed middle-aged man's questions were like thunder, shocking Xiao Han. It was a complete and utter enlightenment. In the next moment, the helplessness and dejection in Xiao Han's eyes disappeared without a trace, replaced by a touch of determination and indifference, as well as a kind of relief. Thank you for the advice, big brother. Xiao Han suddenly smiled freely. He also sank into his memories. Big brother, back then that young man was just a living target, bullied and humiliated all day long. He was bound to die sooner or later. If he hadn't obtained the demon egg, would he still be alive today? His bones would have been cold. Moreover, the living target would have been thrown into a barren mountain without even a grave. Ha ha ha. He obtained the demon egg. Although it was a huge hidden danger, he at least relied on the demon egg to obtain many opportunities. Until now, he could be considered proud and proud. If he had another chance, he would still choose to accept the demon egg. Ha ha. I understand now. I understand now. Xiao Han clenched his fists, his eyes filled with fighting spirit. This life was also picked up. What's the harm in taking a gamble now? Come. Kill. The evil spirit in the egg is a god of the demon race, but why should I, Xiao Han, fear it? Defy the heavens. Who says that I, Xiao Han, cannot defy the heavens? If the god wants to destroy me, then I will kill the god. Ha 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 ha. The green-clothed middle-aged man also laughed. His expression was one of relief. Little brother, you really have a backbone. Ah. One must have a backbone. If you're a coward, you should just die, right? Ah. At this moment, Xiao Han's state of mind. It had already undergone a transformation. There was a kind of withered wood coming back to life. It was a completely new feeling. His spirit and temperament had also undergone earth-shattering changes. His state of mind was like the blazing sun, cloudless for thousands of miles. Big brother, please ask little brother, how do you defeat the demon god in the egg? Suddenly, Xiao Han stood up and faced the green-clothed middle-aged man. He bowed deeply, his attitude was very respectful. The green-clothed middle-aged man smiled. Little brother, you're welcome. And right, little brother, when you helped me to remove the fish scales, what did you use? Xiao Han was stunned. Big brother, little brother uses a saber. Saber. A saber can remove fish scales and it can also slay demons. A saber can also protect the body. The green-clothed middle-aged man smiled. Can a saber cut a river, a waterfall? This? Xiao Han licked his lips. Big brother. Ordinary sabers can't cut a waterfall, but saber intent can. Can a saber cut the void? The green-clothed middle-aged man asked repeatedly. A saber cannot. Saber intent can. Xiao Han nodded. Saber intent? If heaven has feelings, saber intent is merciless. The green-clothed middle-aged man also stood up. Little brother, where's your saber? The saber is here. Xiao Han's mind moved slightly, and the air around him fluctuated, creating a sawtooth saber ripple, cutting the air and making a chi-chi sound. Little brother, your saber intent, what use do they have? The green-clothed middle-aged man stared at Xiao Han. Slay demons, slay inner demons, slay void, slay negative emotions, Xiao Han answered. Good. Slay external demons, slay negative emotions, slay all nothingness. The green-clothed man nodded satisfactorily. That evil spirit in the egg, is it also an inner demon? Boom. Xiao Han's mind was a blank. A touch of enlightenment surged into Xiao Han's mind. Big brother. This little brother seems to have understood a little. Saber intent. Xiao Han was completely intoxicated. Big brother, you mean to use the saber intent to slay the divine soul of the demon god before the demon egg hatches? Yes. Before the demon god hatches, it has no physical form, it only has a soul. To defeat it, to destroy it, the only way is to erase its soul. Now that the demon egg has fused with my heart, if I destroy the demon egg, it's no different from destroying my heart. If I'm not careful, the egg will break and I will die. The only way to defeat the demon god is to erase its soul. With saber intent. To me, the demon god's soul is equivalent to my inner demon. Yes, it's an inner demon. Yes. Saber intent and sword intent can slay inner demons and negative emotions. Of course, to slay an inner demon, I can't rely on external forces, I can only rely on myself. Right now, my saber intent is at the great accomplishment stage. It seems like I can't slay the demon god's soul with one slash. I have to persevere on the path of comprehending saber intent. The great accomplishment stage of saber intent was not the end of the path of saber intent. Above the great accomplishment stage of saber intent, there was still saber intent godly. Saber intent godly meant that one's natal saber chi, mental strength, saber intent, battle intent, and state of mind had all been brewed to the peak, cutting open the door to the saber realm that was close to nothingness, receiving the blessing of the ancient saber soul, and killing immortals and gods. Big brother, what's the door to the saber realm? Xiao Han suddenly asked. Ha ha ha. The green-robed middle-aged man did not answer Xiao Han. Instead he burst into laughter. Suddenly his entire body emitted an ethereal aura. With a gentle grasp of his right hand, the little boy Little Chin turned into a horsetail whisk. In the next moment the green-robed middle-aged man, wearing a feathered robe and holding a horsetail whisk in his hand, was surrounded by immortal chi and emitted an aura beyond the 9 heavens. He looked at Xiao Han and nodded. The door to the saber realm, it's a spiritual world. Ah. Xiao Han, I hope you won't disappoint me. There's only one way to kill a demon god, and that's to destroy its soul. Right now the demon god is residing in your body. Only you have the chance to destroy its soul. You're on your own now. With a wave of the horsetail whisk, the space and time reversed. That person had already disappeared. At the same time Xiao Han's heart warmed up. The golden orb that had been refined in his heart was glowing brightly. This golden orb was originally a damaged treasure. Now it seemed to have been repaired. It shot out one formation after another. Not long after, 10,000 ancient formations were set up around Xiao Han's heart. They circulated continuously, blocking the demonic chi leaking out from the demon egg in his heart. In a daze, Xiao Han's vision blurred. He found that the valley, the farmhouse, the mountains, and the rivers had all disappeared. He was standing on a brownish-yellow path with withered grass and demonic chi lingering in the air. To be continued. Chapter 376. At this moment, Xiao Han stood silently on the rustling path, as if it was a lifetime ago. On one side of the path was the monster metropolis, and on the other was the Yaoxia fortress. Xiao Han turned around and stared in the direction of the monster metropolis. He could not help but shake his head. I really didn't expect my trip to the monster metropolis to be so smooth. Xiao Han was in no hurry to return to the Yaoxia region. Instead, he sat down cross-legged and various thoughts flowed through his mind like water. The senior who enlightened me earlier must be an immortal. Moreover, before he left, he repaired the treasure that contained the 10,000 immortals formation, so that the round golden stone could set up 10,000 formations. Now, the power of time and space circulated endlessly near my heart, causing the aura of the demon egg to be completely concealed. Even the tower master of the demon-slaying pagoda won't be able to sense even a trace of the demon clan's origin energy from my body. Xiao Han's mind was already flawless. There was no longer any despair or helplessness. Instead he was full of fighting spirit. He directly looked inside. The round golden stone shone brightly. Layers of ancient formation mist sprayed out, wrapping around the demon egg in his heart. The demon egg wriggled slightly, steaming with a domineering, dictatorial, evil, invincible and supreme aura. Xiao Han could vaguely sense the will of the demon god. However, the many seals around the demon egg were also mottled with starlight, repairing themselves. The 10,000 immortals formation contains a total of 10,000 formations. Every single formation can suppress demon chi. Now, it seems that the incubation speed of the demon egg has become extremely slow. As long as the demon god doesn't appear, I, Xiao Han, will still have a chance to survive. With the 10,000 immortals formation shielding the demon chi, Xiao Han used the spirit turtle true chi again. The 50 true acupoints in his body revolved at the same time, emitting the sound of surging tides. Strands of true chi were infused into the demon god's palm, completely concealing the aura of the demon god's palm. That way, even the great figures of the human demons or even the master of the tower would not be able to sense even the slightest fluctuation of demon chi from Xiao Han. That's better. Xiao Han nodded with satisfaction. Now I, Xiao Han, don't have any trace of demon chi on me. Even if I face the tower master of the hero pagoda, I'm afraid he can't find a reason to harm me, right? However, I had to be careful. Those old fogies from the monster hero tower weren't easy to deal with. Sly as an old fox, he could not trust them. Also, according to what the azure-robed immortal said, most of the immortals want to find me and kill me first. They want to kill the goose that lays the golden eggs and dig out the demon egg from my heart. I have to be careful and be extra vigilant. Since the azure-robed immortal could come to this plane, the other immortals might be able to find me. As Xiao Han pondered, he checked the condition of his vitality and prepared to return to the Devil Hero domain. Because the demonic aura that had filled his internal organs and accumulated in his acupoints had dissipated, Xiao Han was now able to use the true energy that he hadn't used for a long time. All 50 of his acupoints were filled with true energy. Furthermore, Xiao Han had already accumulated enough true meridian during this training, allowing him to open his 51st true meridian at any time. Xiao Han was also very optimistic about the number of times he could expand his acupoints. When he returned to the Monster Hero Tower, Xiao Han would go into seclusion, get rid of all distracting thoughts, and open his 51st true meridian in one go. The heat of the indestructible golden body flowed on the surface of Xiao Han's body, causing each of his pores to emit hazy starlight. It was a spectacular sight. The saber intent of the Great Accomplishment stage caused Xiao Han's body to produce a natal saber chi. This natal saber chi had fused with Xiao Han's soul and was sent out with Xiao Han's will. It was near the speed of light, and it could slay gods and ghosts and cut through the sky with just a thought. Now Xiao Han knew that the demon god was his inner demon. To kill it, he had to improve his saber intent again. He had to reach the legendary saber intent godly. He could sense the saber realm. He could guide the ancient saber soul and add it to his natal saber chi, forcefully killing the demon god's soul. However, Xiao Han was still clueless about the concept of saber intent godly. Moreover, the azure-robed immortal did not say much about it. Xiao Han had to ask a powerful saber master when he returned to the human world. In terms of demonic power, Xiao Han was flourishing. Seriously speaking, Xiao Han's true chi cultivation level was considered a mess in the human world of demon heroes. Before he expanded his meridians, if he did not use the Great Accomplishment stage saber intent and only relied on his true chi cultivation level, Xiao Han would not even be able to defeat an ordinary ancient giant. However, in terms of demonic power, the demon the arch palm on his left arm had awakened 600,000 demon meridians. The capacity of each demon meridian was 150 times that of an ordinary demon emperor. He had embedded and refined 13 demon emperor crystals. Other than the demon the arch, Xiao Han was invincible among the demon clans in this plane. Even the alluring demon emperor, who was known as the strongest ultimate variant demon emperor, would not be a match for Xiao Han even if it was at its peak. Just by using the demon the arch palm, Xiao Han could unleash a power of 9 billion cauldrons without using any demonic techniques. It could shatter mountains and crush armies. If I use demonic power and demonic techniques, I'm afraid I can sweep away all the ancient giants of demon heroes. I wonder if I can fight against them. Xiao Han was very confident. This time, the demon hero pagoda master used me to threaten and lure me into the demon metropolis to assassinate Yan Lang. He definitely won't expect that I, Xiao Han, will come back alive one day. In order to prevent him from hiding his bow after he has served his purpose, I have to keep a trump card. Xiao Han smiled faintly. Then, the 13th demon emperor crystal on the palm of the demon the arch left arm flashed with brilliance. Xiao Han's mental fluctuation fused into the 13th demon emperor crystal. The 13th demon emperor crystal. In the despair demon compound. The autumn wind was bleak. Withered leaves covered the ground. At this moment, Yan Lang stood in the courtyard with a face full of despair and fear. He stared blankly at a crooked tree in the courtyard. Damn it. Damn the silver-masked demon emperor. He actually imprisoned himself in a piece of demon emperor crystal. Damn it. Yan Lang's tone was full of resentment. And, he even took away the treasure in my dantian. He took it away. That treasure had accompanied me for tens of thousands of years. It was the foundation of my life in the demon metropolis. It made it impossible for any demon race to lock onto my true location and kill me. But now, Yan Lang was very afraid. Without the protection of thousands of ancient formations, he was in imminent danger in the demon metropolis. He could be eaten and swallowed by a powerful demon emperor at any time. Oh no. That silver-masked demon emperor. He won't eat me, right? Yan Lang's entire body was paralyzed with fear, and his teeth were chattering. This is bad, this is bad. At this moment, Master Yan Lang, are you used to staying here? Xiao Han's mental fluctuation condensed into a physical form and appeared in the despair demon compound. He smiled at Yan Lang. Master, you don't look good. Why are you afraid? What? Silver Mask. You evil creature. Yen Lang roared angrily. As soon as he finished speaking, he slapped Xiao Han with his palm. The power of his palm could topple mountains and overturn seas. However, Xiao Han's mental fluctuation condensed into a physical form and appeared in the Despair Demon compound. Yen Lang's true qi attack naturally had no effect on him. Enough, Master Yen Lang. You're already a prisoner. Don't resist anymore. It's useless, do you know? Xiao Han sneered. Moreover, Master Yen Lang, your alchemy is outstanding, but your true qi cultivation. Aha, you can't even withstand a single blow. Do you understand? You can't even withstand a single blow. If I want to kill you, a single thought is enough. You. Yen Lang trembled as he looked at Xiao Han. Silver Mask, what exactly do you want? If I say that I want to eat you and occupy your body, I wonder if you will be afraid? Ah. I'm afraid that in the demon metropolis, there are many demons who want to eat Master's brain, right? Ah. Xiao Han deliberately scared Yen Lang. No. As expected, Yen Lang burst out with a terrified wail and retreated. Silver Mask. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. What do you want? I can refine all kinds of treasured medicine for you, how about it? As long as you don't eat me, I am willing to serve you for the rest of my life and refine any elixir you want for you. Ha! Master, I'm just joking. Xiao Han couldn't help but laugh again. Forget it, I won't make fun of you anymore. I'm not the Silver Mask Demon Emperor. I'm also a human like you, and I'm also a demon hero. Demon hero Xiao Han. This time, I was ordered to come to the demon metropolis to assassinate you, Master. Ah. Master, you never thought of this, right? Xiao Han looked at Yen Lang mockingly, and a trace of true qi was released. True qi? This is true qi. Yen Lang was horrified. Xiao Han? I've heard of this name before. This is a super genius of the human race recently. He's a newcomer among the demon heroes, but he has endless potential. He's known as a genius of the human race that only appears once in 10,000 years. Even at such a young age, he already has a place on the demon hero ranking. The name Xiao Han is also mentioned by some demons in the demon metropolis. I didn't expect it to be you. But why do you have the skills of the demon race? Master, you don't have to ask about these things. Xiao Han sneered. Yen Lang, you're the most shameful traitor in the history of the human race. You should know what they'll do to you if I hand you over to the demon hero pagoda. I'm afraid that they'll skin you, pull out your tendons, and cook you in a pot of oil. Hearing this, Yen Lang's face turned pale. He felt that his life was coming to an end. His knees softened and he knelt on the ground. Xiao Han, I beg you, don't hand me over to the demon hero pagoda. You can't. Please let me go. Don't hand you over to the demon hero pagoda? Then how about throwing you back to the demon metropolis? I don't know if those demons will eat you or not. After sucking your brain, they'll be able to master your divine ability to concoct medicine. I think there will be many demons who can't wait to eat you, right? Xiao Han teased. No. You can't. Yen Lang was like a virgin girl who was surrounded by dozens of burly men. There was no longer a trace of blood on his face. His willpower had completely collapsed. Chapter 377. The Demon Capital. At this moment, the demon capital was extremely cold and cheerless. In fact, there was even a smell of ruin. Every inch of space still had the lingering smell of the disaster. On every floor of the demon metropolis, a large number of buildings collapsed. The earth's crust was deformed and cracked. Ruins could be seen everywhere. The third level of the demon capital. In the collapsed five-colored demon palace. The nine-headed demon emperor, led by Great Emperor Woodfern, was exasperated. However, their expressions were filled with fear and trepidation, as if they were birds startled by the mere twang of a bowstring. It's too terrifying. That silver-masked demon emperor, actually devoured Lord Demon God's will, and even transformed. After it transformed, it's as strong as a deity. It can almost destroy our plane. It can trample on the rules and order wantonly. Sangxiu Demon Emperor was actually killed by it in an instant. It's definitely not the power of our plane. It's too evil. It makes us feel despair. Complete despair. Even the aftermath of that power has killed countless demon emperors. A demon emperor muttered incessantly. He looked like a young girl who had just been ravaged by hundreds of burly men in turn. Shut up. Great Emperor Woodfern scolded. Its expression had also become extremely hideous and twisted. He paused for a moment, then said with a trembling voice, "How many demon emperors did we lose? Great Emperor Woodfern, we've truly suffered a calamity this time." Another great emperor's voice was hoarse and he sounded like he was about to cry. "Great Emperor Woodfern, there's no need to mention the ordinary demon emperor bloodline. Many of them died during Grandmaster Yen Lang's birthday celebration. After this disaster, more than half of our mutated demon emperors have been killed." More than half. Great Emperor Woodfern cried out in shock. Yes, Great Emperor Woodfern has definitely lost more than half of his troops. Especially the ultimate variant demon emperors. We've lost hundreds of them. We've really suffered a great loss. This loss is immeasurable, the other martial monarch immediately added. Also, Grandmaster Yen Lang has been kidnapped? That's one disaster after another. In recent years, Great Master Yen Lang's concoction skills have become more and more refined. He can almost create a large number of ultimate variant demon emperors. Originally, we all expected that in the next 100 years, the number of ultimate variant demon emperors in our demon capital would exceed 10,000. Definitely over 10,000. Although the ultimate mutated demon emperor created by the precious medicine refined by Master Yen Lang was not as powerful as the ultimate mutated demon emperor with a noble bloodline, it could at least resist some of the powerhouses of the human clan. Tens of thousands of ultimate mutant demon emperors formed an army. The human demons could be destroyed in the blink of an eye. It was only a matter of time before the Yaoxiao Pagoda was flattened. But now, all the plans have come to naught. Roar! Grand Emperor Woodfern let out a heart-wrenching howl, his teeth clenched, and every word he spoke was filled with rage and unwillingness. "Silver-masked demon emperor! You evil creature! Destroying our foundation!" The demons of this plane were miserable. Tragic. Tragic. It should be noted that the potential and achievements of any demon race were closely related to their bloodline and genes. For example, human cultivators might not have much talent, but if they cultivated diligently and had a bit of luck, there was still a chance that they could become a great cultivator. But the demon race was different. The demon race depended on their bloodline and genes. Hard work and luck didn't matter. The demon race depended on their innate conditions. Those with poor bloodline and genes couldn't break through the shackles of their genes no matter how much they cultivated or how much demonic chi they absorbed. As a result, there were exactly 1,000 ultimate variant demon emperors in this plane. And now, they'd lost hundreds of them. One dead meant one less. Originally, with Yen Lang's existence, they could create more ultimate variant demon emperors. But now, even Yen Lang had been kidnapped. "What do we do now, Grand Emperor Woodfern?" one of the great emperors asked, his heart trembling. "The demon capital is on the verge of collapse. If the human clan demons attack, we won't be able to hold them off. We will be completely annihilated by the human race. The human race has millions of heroes, powerhouses of the past, as well as the Council of Elders and the Pagoda Master whose battle prowess is on par with you. Great Emperor Woodfern, we are in danger. The balance of power between the demon race and the human clan has been broken once again. We're weak. We're definitely at a disadvantage." "That's right, Grand Emperor Woodfern. If we don't think of a countermeasure soon, the human clan will definitely send their army to our borders once they learn of the situation in the demon capital." Several of the great emperors barked anxiously. "Silence. Everyone quiet down." Grand Emperor Woodfern took control of the situation. A while later, "The situation is indeed very dangerous." Grand Emperor Woodfern nodded slightly. "Based on the current situation, the human clan demons do indeed have the strength to annihilate us. Furthermore, the greater danger is the mysterious silver-masked demon emperor." When Grand Emperor Woodfern mentioned the silver-masked demon emperor once again, the other 8 great emperors held their breaths. They didn't even dare to breathe loudly. The secret treasure in the silver-masked demon emperor's body is too powerful. It can actually draw upon the power of the demon world and transform. If it wants to destroy us, it'll only take a single thought. Once the silver-masked demon emperor returns, we'll be in grave danger. We might even have no choice but to submit to it. Grand Emperor Woodfern's majestic body was trembling. "Grand Emperor Woodfern, you're saying that the silver-masked demon emperor is drawing upon the power of the demon world?" One of the great emperors sucked in a breath of cold air. "It's definitely the power of the demon world. It might even be the power of one of the great emperors in the demon world. However, given the strength of the Silver Masked Demon Emperor's body, he can't use such destructive power frequently. Otherwise his body will explode. He definitely can't endure such destructive power for a long period of time. However, we have to be wary of this fellow. All of a sudden, Grand Emperor Woodfern licked his lips with a bloody, barbed tongue. His eyes flashed with a strange light. If we can capture the Silver Masked Demon Emperor and extract the demonic chi in his body, we'll be able to obtain his secrets. Then the situation will be reversed. We'll be able to turn the tide. Capture the Silver Masked Demon Emperor? Great Emperor Woodfern, your thoughts are too crazy. Even now, you're still thinking of obtaining the secrets of the Silver Masked Demon Emperor. Crazy. This is too crazy. The other great emperors felt their hearts palpitating. Master Yanlang is still in the hands of that bastard. For the future of the demon capital, we have no choice but to capture the Silver Masked Demon Emperor and rescue Master Yanlang. Grand Emperor Woodfern roared. The other great emperors were speechless. After a short pause, Grand Emperor Woodfern said thoughtfully, "Of course, given our current strength, it's indeed very difficult for us to deal with the Silver Masked Demon Emperor while worrying about the demon heroes of the human race. Thus, we can only send a message to our brethren in the other planes and ask them to help us." What? Grand Emperor Woodfern's words shocked the other 8 great emperors. Silence. An eerie silence. After a few hundred breaths, one of the great emperors finally spoke up in a trembling voice. Grand Emperor Woodfern, you're being a little too rash. I'm afraid it's inappropriate to ask the demons of the other planes to come to our plane. There's nothing inappropriate about it. Grand Emperor Woodfern was flustered and exasperated. The current situation is very delicate. Paper can't wrap fire. There's no way the humans don't know what's happening in the demon capital. It's only a matter of time before the humans find out about our disaster. Once they attack, how are we supposed to defend ourselves? How are we supposed to fight against the demon heroes of the human race? 100 of them are more than enough to kill us. Not to mention the demon hero elders and the demon hero pagoda master. Now that the situation is dire, we can only send a distress signal and ask the demons of the other planes to come over. Furthermore, we can use the demons of the other planes to capture the Silver Masked Demon Emperor. It's not impossible for us to fish in troubled waters and gain some benefits from the chaos. Sigh, I can't help but feel helpless with this plan. Although we're inviting a wolf into our house, it's still better than being killed by the humans, right? Moreover, we still don't know who the real wolf is. The other 8 martial monarchs nodded slightly after hearing this. Yes, if they didn't receive reinforcements, the demons of this plane would be wiped out in a short period of time. As a result, the demons of this plane would no longer exist, and the humans would be the sole hegemon of this plane. But one of the great emperors hesitated. Emperor Woodfern, in this world, other than the supreme plane of existence known as the upper world, there are many other ordinary planes that are as numerous as the sands of eternity. Our plane is just a drop in the ocean among the many ordinary planes. In the countless dimensions, there are many of the same kind of demons. In fact, there are even some dimensions where the demon race has dominated and the human race has been exterminated. Yes, there are demons that are weaker than us in other planes, and there are also demons that are stronger than us. Grand Emperor Woodfern nodded. However, Grand Emperor Woodfern, the distance between any plane of existence and another plane of existence is extremely great. Between the adjacent planes was a vast and boundless universe. The universe was filled with all kinds of energy such as peck wind, black thunder, blue fire, sky fire, black hole, space fragments, meteorite flows. Ordinary demons and humans with slightly lower realms did not dare to fly in the vast universe. Furthermore, it's impossible to teleport in an unstable space. Therefore, there are 2 problems with traveling from one plane of existence to another. First, the distance is too great. Second, there's a high chance of death during the flight. Grand Emperor Woodfern, even if you send out a distress signal, there's a chance that the demons of other planes won't take the risk to fly to our plane. It's too easy to get lost and die. It's also easy to get the wrong direction while flying in space, and the chances of death are very, very high. Yes, your worries are reasonable. Grand Emperor Woodfern nodded. However, demon emperors like us can still resist the chaotic energy flows of the universe such as peck winds, black holes, meteor flows, and so on. When I send out the distress signal, I'll send out the coordinates of our plane of existence. With the coordinates, the chances of getting lost in space will be greatly reduced. Grand Emperor Woodfern paused for a moment, then laughed coldly. I'll use the secrets of the Silver Masked Demon Emperor as bait to lure high-level demons from other planes to come here. I believe that many high-level demons will be willing to take the risk and fly over from other planes. This is also a gamble. If we're lucky, those high-level demons will become our pawns. They'll help us wipe out the demon heroes of this plane of existence, and they might even help us capture the Silver Masked Demon Emperor. Of course, if we're unlucky, our plane of existence will be invaded and taken over by the high-level demons of other planes. Let's say it's half and half. Half and half. But if we don't do this, we'll lose everything. We'll all die at the hands of those damn demon hero pagoda. Dozens of breaths later, since that's the case, Grand Emperor Woodfern, we'll follow your plan and send out the message. We'll use the Silver Masked Demon Emperor as bait to lure high-level demons from other planes over. The other 8 great emperors all agreed to Grand Emperor Woodfern's plan. It just so happens that I have a demonic communication technique. Once I use it, with our plane as the center, the message will spread to all corners of the universe. There will definitely be many demonic brethren in other planes who will receive the message at the same time. No matter what, the humans of our plane of existence are facing a calamity. Using the strength of the high-level demons of other planes to wipe out the humans of our plane of existence is far too simple. Right. Grand Emperor Woodfern, those that can fly over must be demon emperors from other planes of existence. With more demon emperors, it'll be easy for them to flatten our demon hero pagoda. Humans, tremble. Calamity is upon us. Chapter 378. Xiaohan's 13th Demon Emperor Crystal. Inside the Demon Compound of Despair. Master, what sect are you from in the 4 regions of the human race? Yin Lang nagged beside Xiaohan. Xiaohan smiled faintly and shook his head. This Yin Lang was indeed a character in the past. When he was young, he was talented and passed a strict selection to become a demon hero. After entering the demon metropolis, he held power in his hands. But in the face of life and death, he was very cowardly. It was not an exaggeration to say that he was afraid of death. The more afraid a person was of death, the easier it was to control him. Southern Region, Beacon Fire Empire, Cloud Sect. Have you heard of it? Xiaohan said casually. Oh, Cloud Sect? I've heard of it. Master, I'm from the Eastern Region, but I've also heard of the Cloud Sect. The sect master of the Cloud Sect is called Cloud Sect, and he's also a genius. Yin Lang kept trying to curry favor. Alright, enough with the idle talk. Xiaohan waved his hand impatiently. Then he stared at Yin Lang with a hint of coldness in his eyes. Yin Lang, there's something I want to ask you. For some reason, Yin Lang felt that Xiaohan's every move had a fierce and domineering temperament. When Xiaohan glared at him, his body trembled in fear. He knew very well that Xiaohan was extremely powerful, and his methods were extremely cruel. That's right. Ordinary demon heroes, even the Tower Master of the demon hero world, would definitely not dare to go to the demon metropolis alone and cause trouble under the demon emperor's nose. But Xiaohan dared. Moreover, he kidnapped him and escaped unscathed. Too monstrous. Besides, Yin Lang had witnessed Xiaohan slaughtering quite a few ultimate mutant demon emperors in the ceremony with his own eyes. His potential was unfathomable. Therefore, Yin Lang absolutely did not dare to resist Xiaohan. He said submissively, Master, what do you want to ask me? Have you refined a slow-acting poison called heart-eroding bone pill? This pill is colorless and tasteless, and after taking it, one will only have 3 years of life left? Xiaohan said coldly. Heart-eroding bone pill? Yin Lang was stunned, but then he revealed a proud expression. Yes, this is a small poison that I casually refined in the past. Not worth mentioning. However, this little thing wasn't something that an ordinary alchemist could refine. It wouldn't be a problem for him to poison an expanding aperture realm pinnacle cultivator to death. Unless one's true chi cultivation has reached the talisman transformation stage, only then would it be possible for one to dissolve the poison by themselves. If one is below the talisman transformation stage and consumes this heart corrosion bone pill, without the antidote that I personally refined, one would undoubtedly die. No one in this world can save me. Yin Lang was extremely narcissistic. Xiaohan glared at him, and Yin Lang immediately shut his mouth. Yin Lang, I'll give you 3 days to refine the antidote for this rotting heart bone eroding pill. Otherwise, I'll make you wish you were dead. Yes, yes, as long as Master gives me the ingredients to refine the antidote, I will refine the antidote in one day. I only need one day. Yen Lang was trembling in fear. Xiao Han heaved a sigh of relief. His eyes became a little absent-minded as he murmured, Yin Rong, I finally got the antidote for you. Where are you now? There was still more than a year before the poison in Xiao Yunrong's body flared up. Before Xiao Han came to the demon metropolis, the demon hero Pagoda's tower master had already promised Xiao Han to find the missing Xiao Yunrong for him. Moreover, when he rescued Shengguan Wudi, Xiao Han had also mentioned this matter to Shengguan Wudi. Presumably, now that Xiao Han had returned to the demon hero Pagoda, he might be able to see Xiao Yunrong. There's no time to lose. I'll return to the demon hero Pagoda now. I'll give you the ingredients to refine the rotting heart bone eroding pill as soon as possible. With a thought, Xiao Han's body rippled and was about to disappear from the demon compound of despair. Master, you must not hand me over to the people of the demon hero Pagoda, Yen Lang hurriedly emphasized. Xiao Han's mental energy fluctuation was withdrawn from the demon compound of despair. Xiao Han stabilized his body and looked into the distance. Millions of miles away was the human race's demon hero fort. Passing through the stronghold meant that Xiao Han had officially returned to the human race's territory. I also miss the sect master, my senior brothers, and my two wives. I also hope that Yun Rong will no longer wander the world and can be found. Alright. Xiao Han will return now. Xiao Han's eyes were also filled with longing. In the next moment, swoosh, Xiao Han released the demonic power in the demon emperor's palm on his left arm and used it to move like an illusion. He turned into a series of afterimages and flew 1,000,000 miles away. The last line of defense of the human race adjacent to the demon metropolis. The stronghold. The stronghold floated in the air. It was boundless and its entire body was dark. On the surface of the stronghold there were many formations. In the depths of these formations, there were the world's most perfect spirit stones, mineral veins and gems transmitting energy. Without a doubt, just a little bit of the formation would be enough to kill all living beings and exterminate demons to defend the Tao. For thousands of years, even the demons of the demon metropolis did not dare to invade. Occasionally, some demons would try to provoke the dignity of the stronghold and disguise themselves in order to pass through the stronghold. However, all of them ended up in a miserable state and were refined into ashes by the formation on the spot. Bronze patterns could be seen on the surface of the fortress, and there were even layers of protruding ancient divine dragon bones, making the fortress look extremely ferocious, like a primordial beast that was choosing its prey to devour. However, from time to time, there would be true chi flying in and out. The human race's demons looked vigilant and ready to fight. Not long ago, the ancient giant, Shengguan Wudi, who had been imprisoned in the stronghold, was actually kidnapped by a few demon emperors on the way back to the demon hero Pagoda. This made the human race's ancient giant, who was guarding the stronghold, furious. Now, the number of human demons stationed in the stronghold had obviously increased. Inside a palace in the stronghold, a middle-aged man dressed in white sat on top of the palace. His black hair was draped over his shoulders, and he looked cultured and elegant. He looked like a wealthy young master of the secular world. Strands of divine light poured down from the top of his head. It was as if there were stars and a silver moon above his head. Every time he moved, the heavens would shine with light. This person was the human race's ancient giant, Lung Qianxiu, who was guarding this stronghold. He was a big shot who could move mountains and fill seas with a wave of his hand. When he was angry, he could turn mountains and rivers into ashes. On the left and right sides of the palace sat dozens of demons. Each of them had an extraordinary temperament, and their true chi fluctuated like a surging river. Ha ha ha. Suddenly Lung Qianxiu laughed loudly. His face was glowing as if he was proud of his success. I didn't expect that my big brother Shengguan Wudi would have a fortuitous encounter and dispel the evil demonic chi that had been haunting him for 1,000 years. Ah! Big brother Shengguan Wudi has restored his glory. He has recovered the invincible strength of the past. In a month's time, in the North region, the East region, and the Great Wilderness, he killed 9 ultimate variant demon emperors in succession and showed off his skills. Ah! The return of Senior Shengguan is really a great blessing for our human race's demon world. It is also a blessing for the common people in the world. Immediately, the demons in the palace all laughed and said. A young demon hero suddenly said, Senior Lung, I don't know what fortuitous encounter Senior Shengguan had. He was kidnapped by those demon emperors and sent to the demon metropolis. Could it be that Senior Shangguan had obtained some fortuitous encounter in the demon metropolis? I heard that the most shameful traitor in the history of our human race, the alchemist Yen Lang, lived in the demon metropolis all year round. I don't know if this matter has anything to do with Yen Lang. Don't make wild guesses about the key to this matter. With my friendship with Big Brother Shangguan, he didn't say anything about this matter and asked me not to ask more. I think it's inconvenient for Big Brother Shangguan to say this matter. Lung Qianxiu said with slight displeasure. The young demon quickly changed his words. Yes, Senior Lung. Senior Lung, the return of Senior Shangguan must be a sign that the luck of our human race is beginning to flourish. This is a good sign. Maybe it won't be long before we can march straight into the demon metropolis and kill all the demons in this world. Ha ha ha. Yes, this is a good sign. The group of demons all laughed. The matter of attacking the demon metropolis also needs to be decided by the higher-ups of the Demon Hero Tower. However, it is said that Yen Lang has created a large number of mutated demon emperors in the demon metropolis. It is unwise to attack rashly. Lung Qianxiu said lightly. Suddenly, there is a wave of demonic aura? Lung Qianxiu frowned and stood up. In the palace, a few demons immediately said, Senior Lung, let's go out and take a look. Swish, a wave of demonic aura came from thousands of miles away. After the demonic aura condensed, Xiao Han's figure appeared. Ah, we finally arrived at the human fortress. Xiao Han raised his head and looked at the steel castle floating in the air. He couldn't help but feel a sense of familiarity in his heart. At this moment, stop. How dare you? How dare you trespass into the Demon Hero Fortress? You came from the direction of the Demon Metropolis. Are you a spy of the demon race? Whoosh 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 whoosh. The sound of something piercing through the air resounded in the sky. It was extremely violent. Suddenly, there were experts with profound cultivation of Zhen Qi flying out from the fort and landing around Xiao Han. It was not just one, there were 5 of them. All of them were experts with powerful Zhen Qi. They surrounded Xiao Han. They are all demons of the expanded point realm. Xiao Han raised his head and glanced at the 5 people. He immediately activated the spirit turtle True Qi and sealed the demonic aura on the left arm of the demon emperor. He smiled innocently. Ah, we are on the same side. On the same side. The 5 fiends were confused when they saw Xiao Han. Because when they used their True Qi to scan Xiao Han, they found that there was not a trace of demonic aura on Xiao Han. He was a pure human. Wait. A man in green clothes with a sword on his back stepped out and stared at Xiao Han. He was focused and calm. His whole body shone with sword qi. There was a wave of demonic aura just now. I heard that the traitor, Brother Yen, can concoct a medicine that can block off demonic aura. We will not be able to detect it after the demon race takes it. However, don't think you can fool us. This fortress is guarded by our ancient giant, Senior Lung Qianxiu. Why don't you follow us back to the fortress first? Don't act recklessly or else, you will die. Ha! You are making a mountain out of a molehill. Xiao Han burst into laughter. You are all demons. I'm also a demon. You're also a chivalrous hero? The chivalrous heroes were all stunned. I am Xiao Han. I am ranked 1650 on the demon ranking. Haha, you are all at the expanded point realm. However, your ranking on the demon ranking might not be higher than mine. Xiao Han laughed casually. As soon as he said that, the 5 heroes were all dumbfounded. Xiao Han? You are really Xiao Han? The man in green clothes with a sword on his back swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Of course I am Xiao Han. However, my demon hero token is not with me. But I don't need to lie, right? Xiao Han laughed. How dare you? How dare you? Why don't you pretend to be someone else? How dare you pretend to be Xiao Han? One of the demons in white clothes said angrily. Xiao Han died a long time ago. A few days ago, the higher-ups of the Yaoxia Tower had just issued an obituary, saying that an unprecedented Yaoxia hero, young Xiao Han, had been born in the most brutal Yaoxia trials in the history of the Yaoxia world in our world. Young Xiao Han rose like a comet. In less than 3 years after becoming a demon hero, he was ranked 1650th on the demon ranking. He was like the sun in the sky and his luck was like a rainbow. However, when things reach an extreme they will fall. Young demon hero Xiao Han was killed by the silver-masked demon emperor. His brain was sucked and his body was taken over. From then on, The demon hero with the most potential in the history of the human race died at an early age. Huh. My brain was sucked by the silver-masked demon emperor and I died? Xiao Han was dumbfounded. Chapter 379. Oh? The demon hero tower actually said that I, Xiao Han, am dead? Xiao Han was completely dumbfounded. He had only been in the demon metropolis for a few months, and the news of his death had already been announced to the world. What was the intention of the higher-ups of the demon hero tower? Thief. No matter where you come from, you actually dared to pretend to be the young demon hero Xiao Han. This is a heinous crime. The green-clothed sword cultivator's words were sharp and aggressive. The young demon hero Xiao Han had killed Demon Emperor Qing Lin and annihilated Demon Emperor Azure Dragon. To the common people of the human race, it could be said that he had made outstanding contributions. He was still young, but he wasn't afraid of the demon clan. In fact, he even fought with the notorious silver-masked demon emperor, to kill the demons and get rid of the evil for the people. Although he died in the hands of the silver-masked demon emperor, in the end, his actions have already become the symbol of the demon clan. Monument. Eternal glory. Enough. Xiao Han was also annoyed when he heard this guy nagging about him as if he was dead. I, Xiao Han, am not dead. This news of my death was deliberately released by the higher-ups of the demon hero tower to hide it from the world. Hide it from the world. One of the demon heroes was stunned. Yes, because... Xiao Han said enigmatically. I, Xiao Han, was ordered to go to the demon metropolis to complete a shocking mission. This mission must be extremely confidential. Yes, do you understand? What mission? The green-clothed sword cultivator raised his eyebrows. Ah. Everyone with your status, you don't have to ask about this kind of mission. To put it bluntly, your ranking on the demon hero ranking is too low. You don't have the authority to know the details of this mission, understand? Xiao Han smiled casually and threatened them. The 5 demon heroes were shocked and angry at the same time. At this moment, whoosh, 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 in the stronghold, flowing light overflowed in all directions. Rays of true chi light rippled out one after another. In an instant, densely packed figures floated in the sky. They were all demon heroes. Hundreds and thousands of demon heroes flew out of the fortress and stared at Xiao Han. Suddenly, a few of them blurted out. Xiao Han. It really was Xiao Han. Xiao Han, the youth from the Cloud sect of the southern region. His performance in the Hex Hero preliminaries was very outstanding. I once recorded the video through the Magic Eye Stone, and witnessed the whole process of Xiao Han in the competition. Yes, it was Xiao Han. I can't be wrong. There's no mistaking it. Yes, it's Xiao Han. I've seen him in person. Once in the Yaoxia Tower, I saw Xiao Han from afar. It was him. His expression is just like that. There's a little bit of arrogance, a little bit of arrogance. A female demon dressed in colorful clothes looked at Xiao Han with stars in her eyes. Young hero, handsome and elegant. However, according to the obituary published by the higher-ups of the Yaoxia Pagoda, Xiao Han died in the hands of the silver-masked demon emperor. His brain was sucked dry and the silver-masked demon emperor took over Xiao Han's body. This guy in front of me might be the silver-masked demon emperor in disguise. No way. Would the silver-masked demon emperor dare to barge into the fortress? How many times has it mutated? For a moment there were all kinds of discussions around the fortress. Many demon warriors were looking at Xiao Han curiously. Xiao Han? Suddenly, a faintly discernible voice rang out from within the fortress. This voice was light and gentle, giving off a feeling as though one was bathing in the wind. However, it contained an unparalleled majesty. Senior Lung. All the demon warriors present were silent, restrained their aura, and greeted him respectfully. An ancient giant? The ancient giant who guards this fortress? Xiao Han's heart skipped a beat. At the next moment, swoosh, auspicious clouds and auspicious vapors rose, sandalwood incense curled up in spirals, and jade-like runes fell in front of Xiao Han. In an instant, these runes swam like tadpoles, forming an array formation about half a mu in size. There was a faint power of space. A small teleportation formation? Xiao Han nodded slightly. Martial artists who cultivated vital qi could expand their acupoints at the 6th stage, transform their vital qi into true talismans at the 7th stage, and form all kinds of formations with the 8th stage. However, for the ancient giant who guarded the fortress, Setting up a simple teleportation formation was simply a matter of breathing. Little friend, you say you are Xiaohan? But as far as I know, the young demon Xiaohan has already been sacrificed. Forget it, come see me. I will negotiate with you face to face. Don't worry, if you are not a demon, I promise I will not harm you. All right. Xiaohan did not mind and directly stepped into the small teleportation formation. The fortress. In a warm little house. Wooden table, bamboo chair, bookcase and fragrant tea. The ancient giant who guarded the fortress, Lung Qianqiu, sat opposite Xiaohan. He carefully observed Xiaohan and soon, his eyes were filled with shock. As for Xiaohan, he casually smiled and looked at Lung Qianqiu. His eyes did not dodge or flatter, and his state of mind was as calm as still water. Xiaohan allowed Lung Qianqiu's spiritual force to scan his body. The spiritual force of an ancient giant was extremely powerful. It was as vast as the abyss, able to observe people down to the smallest detail, and able to lock one's soul for thousands of miles. As long as this ancient giant used his spiritual force slightly, he could even clearly see the pores, cells, meridians and blood vessels in Xiaohan's body. It was as clear as a candle flame, like looking at the lines of a palm. Xiaohan smiled without saying a word. Let him see. Before entering the demon metropolis, although there were only a few cracks on the demon egg in Xiaohan's heart, existences with slightly higher cultivation could still detect the demonic qi in Xiaohan's body. For example, Wu Bai, and even Xiao Mingqiu could slightly peek at Xiaohan's secrets. Not to mention the ancient giants and the tower masters who were the leaders of the human race. But now, on the demon egg, countless seals had collapsed and broken. There were thousands of cracks on the surface of the eggshell. It was a complete mess, but now there was a barrier like the 10,000 Immortals formation. 10,000 Immortals formation. A total of 10,000 ancient formations. Every ancient formation was an immortal formation. Profound and mysterious. It contained all kinds of energy. Inescapable net, yin and yang changing, 5 elements flashing. Although this 10,000 Immortals formation was only set up by a magic treasure and could only display the tip of the iceberg of this immortal technique, it was still not something that ordinary martial artists could see through. Lung Qianqiu's spiritual force directly swept into Xiaohan's heart. Then, his spiritual force was lost in the layers of immortal formations. You alone can't see through these formations and see my heart. Xiaohan smiled in his heart. Once my cultivation reaches the talisman formation realm, I will be able to gather all kinds of treasured qi from beyond the heavens and personally set up the 10,000 Immortals formation. The power and wonders of that 10,000 Immortals formation will surpass this round golden ball magic treasure. Lung Qianqiu was stunned for more than 10 breaths. Then he swept his spiritual force towards Xiaohan's left arm. Xiaohan used all his spirit turtle true qi to wrap around the demon sovereign's palm tattoo on his left arm. However, the spirit turtle true qi's ability to conceal the demon sovereign's palm was far inferior to the 10,000 Immortals formation near the heart. Lung Qianqiu, a great figure throughout the ages, could still see some clues about Xiaohan's left arm. Of course, he could only see the demon sovereign's aura on Xiaohan's left arm, but it was impossible for him to distinguish the strength of the demon sovereign's palm. He has opened 50 true acupoints. In terms of true qi cultivation, he is only at the peak of the 5th level. He hasn't expanded his acupoints yet. His physical body is as strong as the ocean. Each of his muscles is as heavy as a mountain. Just the strength of his physical body alone is enough to sweep through a large number of people on the demon hero ranking. If I'm not mistaken, his left arm has indeed refined a demon sovereign's palm. That's right. I've heard of that young man Xiaohan. He possesses some techniques of the demon race. That is his strongest trump card. Lung Qianqiu nodded slowly and said solemnly, Young man, there is indeed no demon qi in your body. There is no demon qi in your 5 viscera and 6 bowels, pores, bones and meridians. Everything is crystal clear. Moreover, you have a great fortuitous encounter. There is actually a fluctuation of immortal qi near your heart. This fluctuation of immortal qi is awe-inspiring and righteous. It is very unlikely for it to appear in the body of a demon race. Could it be that you are really Xiaohan? Your true qi cultivation is weak, your physical body is incomparably strong, and you possess the techniques of the demon race. These are the 3 characteristics of that young man Xiaohan. You match all of them. Ha! Senior Lung, of course I am the real Xiaohan. If I was a spy of the demon race, why would I come here to die knowing that you, the ancient magnate, is guarding the stronghold? Xiaohan said with a smile. The trip to the demon metropolis not only increased Xiaohan's combat strength, but his mentality had also undergone a transformation. Now, even when facing an existence as powerful as the ancient magnate, Xiaohan was able to be neither servile nor overbearing. This made Leng Qianqiu even more amazed. TSK. Young man, your mentality. With your cultivation, you are actually able to maintain your poise and your heart is as calm as water in front of me. It is truly rare. Haha, Senior Leng, this junior's true qi cultivation is indeed weak. However, after this trip to the demon metropolis, I have accumulated a lot of true qi. It will only take a day for me to expand my acupoint. After returning to the Demon Hero Pagoda, I will find a spirit room and directly break through the 51st true acupoint. I also want to see how many times I can expand my acupoint. Yes. You have accumulated enough. It is completely enough. Leng Qianqiu also sighed. You can talk and laugh freely in front of me. This tempering of your mentality is already pure and untainted. Once you expand your acupoint, I am afraid it will shock the entire demon hero world. Xiaohan. Is it really Xiaohan? Right at this moment, Leng Qianqiu's expression slightly changed. His expression became somewhat respectful as he took out a demon hero token from his bosom. Leng Qianqiu held the demon hero token in his hand and remained silent. However, his expression was focused. It was obvious that he was communicating with the other demon heroes through the spirit room. Oh. To be able to make Leng Qianqiu so polite and respectful. Could it be that the higher-ups of the Demon Hero Pagoda are communicating with him? Xiaohan was also puzzled. After dozens of breaths, Leng Qianqiu kept the Demon Hero token and smiled. Young man, since you say that you are Xiaohan, then please stay in this fortress for a while. I have an elder brother who is also on the Demon Hero ranking. He is a famous ancient magnate. His combat strength and ranking are much higher than mine. Moreover, he is gifted in identifying demonic qi. How about this? I will let my elder brother meet you. My elder brother will know right from wrong. Elder brother? A famous ancient magnate? Xiaohan's heart slightly moved. Who is that? Ha! That elder brother of mine used to be unparalleled in the world. Leng Qianqiu laughed proudly. Ranked 23rd on the Demon Hero ranking, Shengguan Wudi. To be continued. That you're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.